Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today? A little bit of issues this morning trying to get my audio working. My microphone was not showing up, and hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. I had to reboot my computer, and it went straight into a Windows update, of course. And I see a lot of chit chat saying, am I going to switch to Linux? I do have a second drive in here that has Linux installed on it. I boot into it occasionally to try to get all the stuff tweaked properly, but there's so many different pieces of software that I use that don't work. Is my audio out of sync? Yeah, I forgot I need to update that because I had to reset all of my audio stuff. Let's fix that. It should be 250 milliseconds here. All right, let's see if that's better. Is that better? Is that better? It should be good. All right, so everyone can hear me good? Everyone can hear me good? All right, so I was not supposed to stream today, and I was supposed to go out of town. But that got canceled. So I was like, well, might as well stream since I am here, right? So I threw up a couple computers or laptops at the last second, and I put votes up on Twitch and on YouTube. And I think a lot of the mods aren't here today because they thought that I wasn't going to be here. But we're going to do it anyway. We're going to wing it without a lot of assistance. But hope everyone's doing well today. We had a huge thunderstorm last night. Lots of rain in our area. And so the yard is looking good. It's very happy. I'm going to have to get out there and cut it, though. Life is a stream. I love all these different sayings here. He didn't go out of town. Yeah, I didn't go out of town. I was supposed to go take my daughter somewhere today, and then I got a call yesterday. I was going with another family, and they canceled. So another 2.7 error. I actually have two 2.7s here, but I was like, well, I'll only put one in the list. And then so let me just tell you a little bit about all three of them. So one of them is a X17R1 that's a 2.7 error, so screen not detected. We tried different screens on it, or detected. And so, we're going to chase it down. It's going to be a chip or some sort of power rail or something. Or it could be something really bad that I can't figure out. I don't know. And then the other one, I just grabbed that one just out of the stack. Tech hasn't even looked at that yet, but I just kind of read the notes. It said no power, no signs of life, so I'm assuming that's probably what it is. It could be we just turn it on, or it's something else that's not related. The last one's the 9530. Now, this is one of my subscribers. He emailed with me, and then he was just like, he's a repair shop. He's been trying to fix his board, and he spent 5 hours on it. He got it kind of working, but he just gave up and sent it to me. So he didn't even fill out a repair ticket. It just showed up in a box. So I don't know. Let's just look at it. Let's figure it out. So that's the 9530. That's the XPS 9530. Or no, 9520. Sorry. Same thing, basically. Anyway, so one of those is going to be fun. Maybe we'll get to all three of them. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But we have about 5 minutes, 6 minutes left on the voting. Did YouTube fix their... Oh, yes, they did. Their poll last Wednesday looked crazy. It was all opaque. You couldn't even see it. So, yeah. Hopefully they fix that. So hello from Jamaica. Hello from all around the world. Is YouTube having issue today? I don't know. Hello from Michigan. Hello from Australia. Melbourne. Every day is a great day for science. Here, I'm going to put the poll up here. I need to set it up, though. I always forget to do this. There we go. Polls. Polls for everyone. There we go. I think it's good. Why is that a little off? I don't know. You can kind of see them. It's hard to get all these poll windows up here correct, so I don't know. I have a hard time with it. I'm always kind of winging it, trying to get that up there. Hello from Poland and Utah and UK and where else? California, Dominican Republic, Shrewsbury, UK, Cardiff, UK, Freeport, Florida. No polls. I was washed out. Yeah, I was washed out last week, but it looks okay now. But howdy from backwards Kentucky, from Estonia, from the Netherlands. It's beautiful. Love the poll. It's a beautiful poll. Updating the G15. Are they good? G15 for the most part is the same as like an Alienware. A lot of times it's the same board. It depends on which model, but it's just made of plastic, so they're cheap. So are they good? I mean, they're cheap. So I don't know. Cheap ain't good and good ain't cheap generally, but you're getting pretty good horsepower for not that much money. Hello in Germany and Philippines and Portugal and Greece and Pennsylvania, Las Vegas, Lewismouth, UK, Michigan, Oregon, Florida. You got lots of places. So anyway, so go ahead and vote. You got like 4 minutes left on there. I'm going to put some music on in the background. So it always just sounds so dry when I'm just sitting here chatting on my own. And we will see what type of shenanigans we can get into today. Hopefully we can save another laptop. Anyone watch that video yesterday? I posted a video yesterday about 2.7. I know some people already mentioned 2.7 again. Yeah, so 2.7 is a LCD not detected error. There's now a 2.8 error that they do on some of these newer machines, but 2.7, 2.8, whatever it takes. That's one's going to be the SBIOS and one's going to be EC detection of the LCD screen not being detected. And of course, it was a pain in the butt. But it was I don't want to give away too much, but we had one part that blew up, and then it blew up another part, which blew up another part, which blew up another part. It is how it is, and yeah, if I had a schematic or the board view would have been easier on that. If I had a board view on it, I might have been able to fix it maybe in half the time, but I don't know. It's really, you never know. You never know. And there's things, when I go back and watch my videos where I edit them or whatever, I'm like, why didn't you do that? Or why didn't you do that? Or why am I doing that? You know what I mean? But it's, hindsight's always 20/20. Hindsight's 20/20. I don't know. Because sometimes I'm yelling at myself, like, why are you doing that? But it's fine. It's fine. Kudos with doing it without a board view. And sometimes that's kind of like, there is plenty of machines that I don't have those types of pieces of software for. I would say most of them. So I try to fix all of them without it. All of them. So what's the difference between an SBIOS and EC? I'm not 100% exactly on the detection there, but usually I kind of point it to like no backlight versus no power, the 3.3 power, the board. EC chip is the embedded controller, so that has some sort of communication and talking to the actual screen itself. The SBIOS, I'm assuming, is the BIOS is what they're probably trying to say. And it's all part of the boot up process. Whenever the machine comes on, it's checking all sorts of different devices. So like that's what the CMOS reset does, is it's like, it's going to power up the VRAM, it's going to power up the RAM, it's going to power up the CPU, the GPU, it's going to power the screen up for a second, it's going to test all these different things. And so if it can't detect something, then it has an error. So we got a question here. Sorry, I can't, it's hard for me to read that when it scrolls like that. What did you say? Where's that at? Oh. Says the machine is in for repair in chat. Oh. So who says it? Ambius? Alterus? All God. Man, words are bad for me. Let me see if I can find him in that chat here. And we can see if we can find it. So someone's machine is here, and I want to see if we can pull that up. You vote on this one. We have 1 minute left on this one. Wolfie, thank you for the resub there. Alterist. Let's see, there he is. Hey, Nathan, my PC is there right now. Okay. Do you know your repair ID number? That might be easier for me to find it. And then we can look and see what the machine is issue with it. We might be able to get to that next. I love working on people's machines that are in chat, so that's why I'm kind of like, maybe do a little detour, but we'll see. Okay, the voting did end, actually. And we have 65% stuck on Dell logo. That's going to be the one, the repair shop that sent in to me. And then 44% on YouTube, so that's going to be the second place. And then 5525 will be the third, the last for the phone number. No, I don't need the phone number. I mean, I could use that, but the repair ID would be easier for me. Let's see. And so here's the stuck on Dell logo motherboard right here. I think it's going to be some. You're listening to Art Bell? Yes. Art Bell, man. There's so much content on Art Bell you can listen to. So, for the coffee fund, thank you so much. Wow. Thank you so much, Rail. That was very nice of you. Okay. Not water damage. I hope it's not water damage. I hate water damage machines. It's just a rabbit hole. It's more of a rabbit hole. Oh, and if y'all want an update for Wednesday, who was here Wednesday? I don't know. That machine we were working at the end, I was completely exhausted, but we were changing out the EC chip because it was giving a 1.6 error. So I changed out the EC chip the next day, booted it up. The OCP errors are gone, but it still gives the 1.6 error on reboot. So I don't know. I don't get it. I still haven't figured that one out. It's just off to the side. I told the customer, I was like, I'm just going to set it off to the side. He said he's actually been using it for months like that. He basically does a CROTS reset to jumpstart it, boots it in the Windows, and does it. Ghost to Ghost from the high desert. Yeah, he always did Ghost to Ghost on Halloween. Repair ID number, thank you. All right, so let's take a look at that. Let me copy that. Oh, it's 26850. Let me pull that up and take a look at what we're working with. 26850. Okay, old Ed. Ed, 17R3. Oh, yours was, I almost picked yours actually. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. So this one is a M17R3, and so it came in completely dead and no post, but or no power. And then my other tech, we determined it was, or he determined it was a EC chip. He programmed the EC chip. The machine's coming on now, but we have the GPU is storing a error 43, which is pointing to a bad VRAM module. So one of the VRAM modules will need to be replaced. So that is the issue with old Ed there, or Alter. Is that how you say it? Where is it at? I'm so bad at reading words, I'm telling you people. So yeah, let's just do we'll do our ones that we just voted on. So the first one here, and then we'll do Ed's next. How's that? It's just a VRAM module replacement. If that works for you, so let's start with this one. This one is the one that was sent in by Mark, and he spent 5 hours on it. He gave up, and he's completely fed up with working on it. So he had told me, and I can actually pull up his email, because he had sent me an email about it, asking me questions. So it says, hey, oh wait, hold on. It says, I've been watching your YouTube videos and learned a ton about these Dells, and however, I am reaching out because due to Microsoft destroying everything from the EC and the BIOS, among other things, I brought this motherboard back to life, which is this board right here, and after programming the BIOS chip, and voltages are all present and it runs, but it's stuck on the Dell logo, no blink codes, no fans. Oh no, fans are at full speed, and I don't know what else to do. He's spent like 5 hours on it, so he's sending it to me. So I think it just needs a new BIOS. I think that would be easy enough to fix. Dennis, thanks for the 15 Canadian. Man, you're killing it. Thank you. Let's freaking go. Let's freaking go. So he didn't send the whole machine. He sent me a motherboard. So what do we do about that? Well, good thing I'm the greatest technician that's ever lived and have like machines all over the place. Let's see if this is what machine this is. I think this is a 9500. This 9500, I might be able to plug it into this. Can't remember. Oh wait, I have that 9530 over here. We can just plug it into that. So, I mean, I have machines all over the place. So we'll figure out how to plug it in. Do we want to look at it, the symptom first? That's probably what we should do. Do we want to do an intro too? Lady, thank you. Thank you for that $10. Oh, lady. Try to find a machine. Here we go. Here's a machine. Banging around here. Okay, so here's a 9530. This is a 9520 board. They are basically the same machine. Do you want to do the intro? Intro, please. Okay, all right. All right, let's do intro. Let's see if someone... Do we have any mods here that can set the title? Wes, can you set the title here? This is an XPS 9530 that is stuck on the Dell logo. Do you know how to do that? And I need to end this poll. Or LED, I think you can do it too. Didn't I give you mod privileges there, LED? All right, you ready? New day and another laptop that needs to be saved, and this time we have an XPS 9520. Now actually I just have the motherboard, but this was actually a repair that another repair shop was working on. He was able to bring it back to life after a Microsoft Windows update bricked the machine, but now it just comes on stuck on the Dell logo. I haven't taken a look at this yet. Let's take a look together and see if we can save this motherboard. Is that good enough? Is that good enough? Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Okay, so we have an intro and we have a test machine that we're going to plug it into. I just want to see what it looks like, and then we can see if we can get it to do something a little different. Now, being stuck on the Dell logo, I want you guys to think about this real quick, or know about this. Do you know in the past, when you have a machine or a laptop and it doesn't have RAM in it, it doesn't have anything plugged into it, it normally won't give you a screen. Well, guess what? This laptop right here will power on and give you a Dell logo without the RAM in there. It's because it's not actually posting. It's just giving you a freaking screen for no reason. I wish it would tell you something like that. So it's kind of fake. Whenever you see a Dell logo on this particular machine or some of these newer machines, they turn on and they show you the Dell logo, and then not until you have the actual, there's like a thing at the top that says secured by Dell, secured BIOS or whatever it says. It's like a little word, a sentence. And once you have that, that's when you have a post. Other than that, it's done. Nailed it again. Yeah, I'm telling you, whenever I do these intros, I have no idea what I'm going to say, and I'm just kind of babbling on. So thank you for saying that I nailed it. All right, let's put it in here and see what it does. And I just realized I don't have my voltmeter up on the screen, so that's no good, no bueno. I'm going to put that up there. Okay. Are my messages not showing? I don't see you. Send do a message, do a test. I don't see you. Let's see. Oh, set title. You got set title stuck. I don't know. Seems like it's working. Seems like it's working to me. It's better than the HP logo. What does an HP do? I mean, I don't know. I've never worked on any other laptop, so it's kind of hard for me to say anything about anything. So maybe that's just the way they do it now. See how you start the video. It's perfect. It's perfect. All right, so I'm just going to install this in here just real quick like. Let's go ahead and do it real quick. I blame JFix. Everyone blames JFix. That's nice. He's getting his whole new house or shop set up. That's nice. I'm excited for him. That's going to be nice. Blah, 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 HP. Try FN diags. Okay, that's a good idea. And we could also try BIOS recovery. If you can get a Dell logo, then you can usually get into BIOS recovery. So we'll try that. For science. Did you ever think a Dell BIOS recovery would actually work? It does, actually. It works sometimes. Let's see. Let me get a screw. Let me get a screw here. I need a screw. You don't work on 5470s very often. I don't. Most boards that are cheap, I don't work on. So if the board can be replaced for less than my motherboard repair charge, then I don't work on it. Now there are times where the board is like very hard to get, and then we'll go ahead and work on it. But you know, or if it's something fairly simple, you know, where I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on it, then I'll go ahead and do it. It's just, you know, you have to do whatever's best for the customer in the long run. So why would I charge $250 if the motherboard's $120, you know? Don't make sense to me, man. I hear you loud and clear. I guess I've caught 2 extra streams today. I wasn't even supposed to stream today. I had canceled this stream, but I said, you know, since my trip got canceled, I could be sitting on the couch right now doing nothing. I could have taken the day off. I thought about it, and then I said, nah, you guys want to stream. Okay, so I have a couple a couple of screws in here so the motherboard doesn't flop out. And let's see. Now this is a 9530 chassis and a 9520 motherboard. Is it going to blow up? Let's use this other power cord so y'all can see it through Spike. Let's see if I can find it. All right, let's see. It's not doing anything here. This is the other, okay, so I didn't really go over all the different reasons why you would have a stuck on Dell logo situation. So, okay, so a couple different things. You can have a bricked BIOS to cause a stuck on Dell logo. You can have it where it's not actually posting, so it's like RAM's not being detected or something like that. You can also have a bad PD controller. Okay, that means the power delivery chip is not communicating properly. Now I'm seeing it stuck here at 5 volts. You can't see it because it's on there. So let me pull up the other meter and I'll show you on that one. And it could just be because I'm trying to run it through my other Spike power meter. So let me see if I can get that up for you. But there's a possibility that that's what the issue is. So if we pull that up, uh-oh, ruh-roh, that looks funky. What about that? Is that better? Whew, that was close. Okay. AJ, thank you. Thanks for being here. We need you for a Sunday morning. Okay, stuck at 5 volts. Stuck at 5 volts on that jack, on that plug. Stuck at 5 volts on that jack. And I'm assuming this one would go to 20. I got nothing that way. Let me flip it over. Nothing. I'm not convinced that this is even related. Now, we're pulling 0.06 current. What are we thinking here? This is a little weird. This kind of, I mean, I'm just, because I'm going by the facts that Mark is the guy who sent this board in, that Mark had got the thing to come on and go to a Dell logo, unless I'm missing the last part of it where he's like, and now it doesn't come on at all. I don't know. Let me see. He had sent back an email that says, you were the best. 5 days is enough. I used 2 brand new chips. It's worthless now. I deeply respect your techniques with Dell, and I'd rather give you the money than lose anything. Okay. You know, I don't know. I don't know. That to me it looks like a bad PD controller chip to me, or short on the board. So let's pull this off. So to me, we're not getting anything. Now, if we're getting 5 volts on one side, 0 on the other side, but he also said he was flashing like multiple different BIOS chips on here, which can mess up things. The PD controller chips on here, so we may need to start flashing all this stuff. Does it have BitLocker on it? It doesn't really matter if it has BitLocker. Oh, well, yeah, I guess it does, but to me at this point, like if all we're trying to do is fix the board, I don't care if it has BitLocker because it's their own, there's nothing we can do, but we're always back up their BIOS just in case. But this is a new BIOS chip, but he did mention that he flashed this other chip on there, which is a Thunderbolt controller chip, which I normally don't flash those either. I guess that would be this chip here. Let's see which one it is. Here, I'll do a microscope instead. I was not prepared for this. See, again, this is, you know, it's always a flaw or it's a gift that keeps, ooh, okay. It's a gift that keeps giving whenever I don't look at something ahead of time because I literally want to come in cold, okay? I want to come in where I have no idea what's going on with it because I like the authenticity of like figuring it out together with you guys, right? So, me not knowing that it didn't power on, it shows that's genuine, right? Shows that's genuine. Let's check the jacks and we'll check the power management chip. We'll check everything. I'm gonna pull out the board. I just want to check. So this is the other chip he changed out or flashed. So the UTS1 chip, which is for the Thunderbolt controllers, which shouldn't have anything to do with anything. And then there's one of our PD controller chips. That's gonna be for both of these ports. And then we have another PD controller that's going to be on the other side. What is this stuff on here? Those are just marks. I don't know. But having bad PD controller can definitely do it. So let's just say it like this. If we have this one good that has the 2 ports on this side, and then this one's bad, then it will do that stuck logo thing. But when is it powering on? Is it powering on off a battery then? I didn't even try powering it on. Let's power it on with the battery. I got this flash for a second. Look, it's powering on. We didn't even press the power button. The reason why I didn't press the power button is because when I plugged in the charger, it should have powered on automatically. But it didn't because I wasn't even paying attention because it was at 5 volts. So does that mean it's going to negotiate up to 20 volts now? And now it's negotiating at 20 volts, but it's saying 0 volts still. Yeah, so this is not a BIOS issue unless it is a BIOS issue. No, it's not a BIOS issue. It can't be a BIOS issue. It can't be. Small component knocked off. And this one over here is now doing 5 volts. Yeah, I think this thing... It's like, this is the problem when other people work on it, because I just like, you're trying to figure out like, what all did they flash? Because we almost need to get all the firmware back to like the starting state. But I kind of think that we have a bad PD controller on this side, is what my thought would be. So logo only, yeah. The logo, like I could take the RAM out and get that logo. That doesn't, you know, have anything to do with it. Because none of this stuff should be coming on. He says all the power rails are coming on. So if we measure here, we should get 3 volt and 5 volt. This is DDR, is it DDR5? Fans are going full blast, he said. Let's see, we should get 3.3 here, 5 volt there, and then this should be 1.1. And then we have a 1.8 over here that we need to measure. And then those are the main ones. Now, the charger's not doing anything, and I've seen that happen with BIOS issues too. But here, I'm going to power this thing off. Fans are on full blast right now. Do we want to try to boot? I mean, if we're never getting like this secured by Dell BIOS, we're not actually posting. But I'm going to pull the RAM out. I want to show you what it does with the RAM out. Holding down the power button is not listening to me. What could it be? I mean, right now I'm thinking we're going to put a fresh BIOS on there that I know works. Then we're going to probably replace that other PD controller. Those are the 2 things I'm thinking. And I'm assuming, I'm going to have to assume that and then we could flash the other chips too, I guess, if we want. This isn't doing anything. This isn't doing anything. Okay. So power button's not responding. So EC chip's not responding to the power button, which means that it could be bad programming again on there. But I'm going to pull out this RAM stick. DDR5, 8 gigs. Turn this back on. Secured by Dell Safe BIOS. That's the words that I'm trying to look for, and I keep going. I don't know what it says exactly. All right, so I press the power button. See, look at this. You like this? There's no RAM in here, buddy. No RAM in here. We still got the Dell logo, but we are getting an error code at least. It's saying a 2.3, right? 2.3 means RAM not there. I vote for PD controller. I vote for PD controller 2, except here's what I want you to think about, is that the EC chip communicates with the PD controllers, and if the BIOS chip programs the EC chip on boot up. So if it's not programming it correctly, then it's going to be wrong. So the EC region of the BIOS may be bad. So I want to flash the BIOS first. Is there a VGA BIOS? There is. You know, I've never, I don't think, I'm trying to think if there's maybe even one time that I've flashed the VGA BIOS and it fixed it. I've never seen that as being a solution on any of these machines before. So I think I've seen enough. I want to start with flashing the BIOS if you guys don't mind, and then we'll do the PD controller. And then we have tons of those PD controllers too. Tons, a plethora. It's Dave's fault, man. Control escape recovery. Oh yeah. That's what we wanted to try, that. Control escape recovery. Let's do that. Although we're gonna have to force it. Yeah. Let's do that while we're here for science, because we don't want to miss out on any science. If we have a chance for science, we need to take it. Otherwise, we're skimping. All right, so let me I have to get a recovery BIOS from Dell's website, so let me do that. let's show you how to do BIOS recovery the proper way, proper nice way. All right, so we come here. It's a 9520. So 9520, you just start typing. It will kind of suggest some stuff. We're going to do 9520. We're going to select drivers. And then we are going to select drivers again. And then we're going to go to BIOS, and then we're not going to download the main one. We want to download other formats, and we want to download this version right here. It's a RCV, and it's going to actually name it, I think image BIOS. Yeah, it's going to name it image BIOS like this. Okay, so then we're going to take this, and we're going to put this on a blank flash drive with a light on it. Okay, you always want a flash drive that has a light on it, by the way, people. And this is also USB 2.0, which is my favorite. So if you have an old USB 2.0 that has a light on it so it shows you if it's reading it or not, that's the winner chicken dinner right there. Because if you have one that doesn't have a light on it, then you don't know if it's even connected, you don't know if it's even reading from it, you don't know what it's doing. You have no idea. So those are my favorite. Yeah, SanDisk, it's a Cruiser 2.0. It's only a 1 gig. It's only a 1 gig. That's how old it is. It's my favorite. And you want nothing on this, by the way. And then I'm just going to move this on here. Move. Look how fast it is. That 2.0 is rocking. And then you're going to do a safe eject because we're good to these flash drives. Safe eject. There you go. Okay, so we're all set with that. So now, assuming the USB ports work, that's the other thing. We need to plug in a, oh, I need an adapter if I'm trying to get here. So I have a USB-C to USB-A adapter. Hook that thing on there. All right, so here's how this works. And this is how it's not going to work, but this is how it works. So I'm going to put this in here on this side. This is the suspicious side. This is the side that detects the charger but doesn't go up to 20 volts until the battery's on, until it comes on, but then at 5 volts it doesn't. Now this thing should actually come on its own when we plug it in. If it's not going to, I don't know. I have to plug the battery in for this. And so I'm going to hold Control and Escape, and then you plug in the charger and the machine should come on its own. Okay? And if it doesn't, then it's not going to work. But, all right, so 3, 2, 1. So it's at 5 volts. I don't see it coming on. But, oh, without RAM. Right. You guys are too smart. Let's undo this. Dill just became a Coolest Fans member. Thank you. All right. With RAM. I know you guys want RAM. You want RAM? You got it. You got it. Okay, so we got the RAM in there. I'm going to hold Control and Escape again. Plug it in. So it's not doing anything. So now I'm going to keep holding the Control Escape, and I'm going to hit the power button. And I might be able to trick it into doing it. So I went to 20 volts. It is actually pulling some current from the charger now with the powered on. I'm holding the Control and Escape. And usually right whenever you get the keyboard backlight, you can actually let go. So that's what we're going to do. And I want to keep an eye on our Cruiser there. Well, it's not a Cruiser, a touch drive, whatever it is. Mini touch drive. And I got no light on it at all. No light. So we should actually get this to start reading. You'll have it like, it blinks kind of at a slow pace like this when it's just connected or just on or whatever. And then it starts blinking like this when it's reading. And I got nothing. I see nothing. So I'm going to unplug it, plug it back in, see if it lights up at all. It doesn't. I'm going to flip it over. We may have a jack issue. Flip it over and see what it, do I have light? Still don't have light on that side. Booting in the diagnostics, I see you guys saying that. The machine's not posting, so it can't really do that. Okay, so this side's actually doing something. So let me move this over. So that USB port on that side is definitely jank. So we got a regular blink here, and then we should get a fast blink whenever it's going to kind of kick into it. Try the other side. I might need to start over here. So I'm going to power it off. Hold down the power button, which it probably is not going to do anything, right? I think it's a firmware issue. But sometimes we can do an actual BIOS recovery if we get a Dell logo. Sometimes. Turn it off and on again. All right, power button does nothing. So we're going to have to unplug it. Actually, I want to see if it stays powered on after. I'm going to unplug the battery. Okay, it's staying on the charger. That's good. All right, so we're going to unplug that. Plug the battery back in. Hold control and escape again. This is all kind of precarious here. Okay, get in the right spot. Okay, there we go. Try plugging this in. Come on. There we go. Plugged in. Still not negotiating 20 volts, so I don't know what's up with that. Yeah, I'm thinking this is more of a firmware issue at this point. So I'm going to hold control escape, and I'm just going to hit the power button instead to power it on. And that's not working. Wait a minute. We had it working a second ago, didn't we? Get the T48 out, flash the BIOS chip. Okay, yeah, so this is not going to really work, I can tell already. I really don't know why it's not powering on. Maybe we need to do it off the battery only first. There we go. And then plug the charger in. Okay. And again, it's not reading this. Unplugged it, plug it back in. We're waiting for that to blink fast. Come on, blink fast. I don't even think this thing's... I think this thing's so messed up that it doesn't even know what it is. She's dead, Jim. She's dead. Yeah, so... This takes so much longer sometimes. I mean, we'll sometimes pull them out of the box if someone sends it in with this issue, and we'll just do this, and it boots right to recovery, and we're done. But because this has been messed with so much, I think that we're not going to be able to recover it this way. But science, mark it off. We'll put it on the list. All right, let's pull this board back out. Let's flash the BIOS, and because it should have already started blinking fast. It also would give us an error here. If it can't find the actual file, it would give us a 3.3 error or 3.4 error. All right, I'm pulling the board back out. I'm done with this. It's not an experiment. There's no chance for that BIOS. Just let it go. The BIOS is dead, Jim. So many Star Trek references. We have a failure to communicate. I believe that. I've diagnosed it. It's messed up. Only the best diagnosis wins. C4. You're talking about the sledgehammer technique, right? just blow it up. Get rid of it. Did the BIOS ever fail? The BIOS chip itself, physically, we've had a couple of them, I think, now. We had one on a stream, and I've had maybe one or two ever that it got to a block and it couldn't write to it properly, and so we just replaced it and it's fine. This customer says that he replaced both of these chips, so I don't know if he bought it. You know, that's interesting. I didn't ask him if he got them programmed. So like he might have bought the BIOS chip pre-programmed with a BIOS, you know. And also, the other thing I've had happen one time is I had somebody saying they reprogrammed the BIOS, but then they didn't solder it well enough, and I just reflowed it and it fixed it. So we can also just look at the solder job on here. It's a trap. Let's see if this thing is hot glued on here, though. Is it hot glue? Is it hot glue? It looks okay. I mean, it looks like there's still old fluxy around. Let's see. Let's see, let's see. What is this stuff? This is all flux here. It's not that hot glue. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just reflow this for science, too. We can do that. It doesn't look that bad, but who knows? Who knows? It's a 512. Yeah, so if it's a 512, we have to pull the chip off the programmer. We can't just stick it in our programmer. Or we can't just do a chip clip to it or whatever, because it's too big and you have to hold it in place, and it takes like 5 minutes just to erase the chip. So I don't believe in it. I've tried many, many times, many moons. Check pin 1, it's cold. All right, let me check that. Okay, pin 1. Looks like it doesn't have much stuff going on here. So if we're looking close at it, see how it's lacking a little bit? So, I mean, it's not the worst. It probably, you know, it has surface underneath, so it could be okay, but who knows? So I say just reflow this whole thing. We could pull it off, put it back on. But if we just kind of do the old reflow and tap and clean up the area, make it look like nobody's been here. So this looks okay. Now, why is it moving like that? I'm going to pull it off, actually. There's no ground. There was nothing barely underneath there. Well, that will make your signals all weird. Because so when I was tapping it just now, the reason why I was like, oh, that feels weird, when I tap it, it actually should stick where it's supposed to go, but it wasn't. And if you don't have this ground pad here, then we're losing communication. You know, it has to have some sort of reference, a V reference. And so, right? Don't you believe? I can't believe. So, I don't know. Or I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's clean all this up and we'll put some fresh, check for hot glue. Check for hot glue. Yeah, I'm going to edit that video down. If you guys missed it last Sunday? Last Sunday we had a laptop here and we pulled the thing apart and it freaking had the BIOS chip on sideways and it was hot glued to the board. Like literally, it's not even made up. It was hot glued. And hindsight, I think that what had happened is like the person was working on it and kind of gave up on it and was just like, fine, I'm just going to sell this thing. And they was like, oh, I still have the BIOS chip off. Let me just hot glue it here so they have the BIOS chip. So it's almost like taping it on there instead. But what is this? Why is that not coming off? It was an epic video. I know, I rewatched it and I was like, man, I was being a little bit crazy. Because I thought, I mean, it was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen. I was being a little bit crazy. All right, I'm going to put some fresh soda on here. Ooh, some hairs in there. Nice. Oh, what the actual? I didn't expect that. God, I hate when all my wires get all tangled. Hot glue version 1.0. Uh-oh. Something beeped. Something disconnected and reconnected. I have no idea. Don't you hate it whenever your computer makes a noise like something came unplugged and you're like, I don't know what it was. We got a new coolest fans. Tolly? Tolly 1964. Welcome to the Coolest Fans Club. You're the next contestant on the Coolest Fans. All right, so I'm just going to put some fresh solder on this area over here. That way we know that we have enough. We don't want to flood the center too much, but we want to have enough. We want to actually have it connected so it electrically can, you know, read a reference voltage. Because if you just have a high 3.3, and it's basically having to go up and down with, you know, for signals, carrier signals. And if it doesn't know what low is, then what are you supposed to do? All right, I clean this off a little bit. This pin 1 goes this way. So we'll stick it like that. We're good? USB driver? Do we want a USB driver on here? Oh yeah, it's a USB driver unplugging, but I don't know what it was. What type of device came unplugged? Tend the chip. You want me to tend the chip too? The chip should have some stuff on here. Oh yeah, I guess we could put some stuff on there. We can add a little bit more. So tending the chip is just the act of putting solder on all the surfaces and making sure that it's fresh. You know, and if this was a new chip, yeah, that would make sense that if they just like set the thing on there. All right, so we're putting fresh solder there. I don't want to put too much in the middle, so let me just dab it like that. I'm going to clean off my tip, and then we'll touch it again here. There we go. So now we know we're going to get electrically, we're going to have a good signal there. So now every piece of metal on there has enough solder, and whenever they will marry together, it will have good marriage. Good marriage. Marriage is what brings us together today. All right. It's like a circle. It has no start and has no end. Okay, here we go, just like that. Windows bricks another laptop. Will it dance? So when we put this on here, we're going to be able to bump it, and it should bump right back into place, and that's what we're talking about when it's dancing here. So let's see if we can do that. Oh. Program BIOS while it's off. I think you're onto something here. Yeah, I'm going to have to pull it off, but I wanted to do it for science. This is what I'm trying to figure out here. Okay, so if we, I haven't soldered it all the way. It's just kind of tech. If we just programmed it, then we will never know if it was actually a continuity issue or if it was the BIOS programming issue. And again, if we're doing this for science, or if we're just doing this for like, I'm going to fix this because I don't have time for anything else and I just want to go on to the next repair, we can do that and I could just be done with it. Or we could solder it back on and be like, see, it was a connection issue, right? Science. That's why I think science is the way to go. Hashtag science. Ooh, that's a good shirt. That's a good shirt. I probe aliens for hashtag science. All right, so now we can actually tap it. Look at this. You see how it wants to just go there? Because that's where it lives. So, ooh, we got a couple balls. The balls are flying. Great balls. Where'd the other ball go? Where'd the other ball go? So when I pushed down, they were flying out the side, which is fine, because we wanted to lay it down. We have too much in the middle. Let me clean this off. Best to learn from it. I'm telling you, because it's like, if you can say, okay, this symptom is happening, right? Is it happening because it doesn't have a good ground? Or is it happening because it's a bad programming? Or does it have a bad PD controller? And here's the PD controller on the back side of the board that I hadn't showed y'all, but this is the one I'm thinking would be bad if one of them is bad. So, because this is the one that does nothing, but that can still be a programming issue. All right, I think we're okay. I don't think that other ball went anywhere. I'm just gonna brush the rest of this off here. All right. We just do this just in case we have a ball that just went somewhere that we don't know. Okay, one step at a time. Otherwise, it'd be too easy. This would be too easy to repair if we just did it. All right, so we don't need to put this back in here. All we need to do is see if the power's on off of this USB-C port, then we know it's doing something, okay? All right, because this, when I plug this in, it should go to 5 volts, then go to 20 volts, and then start pulling current, okay? Actually, yeah, and this one you can do it without a battery. So I'm just trying to think through that. All right, here we go. I say that's the same. That port's doing the same. And that port's still doing nothing. Oh, it went to 5. Wasn't doing that before, but still not coming on. So I just want to measure some voltages and see what it's doing. For physically define, let's say time for physical, define some poorly soldered chips. That would be a good idea too. Let me just measure and make sure we have all our voltages here. So we got our 0.6 volt power rail right here. We have our 0.22 volt power rail right there. And we have our 0 volt power rail right there. You guys know I'm joking, right? We always skip the first step by not looking around the board. All right, so this is supposed to be the 5 volt. This is supposed to be the 3.3 or vice versa. But I think because we're at 5 volts instead of 20, it's doing the wrong ratio. So if this was I don't know if that actually maths out though. Is that right? Doesn't math right. 0.6 and 0.2 or 0.1 something is not is not correct. It's not even within the right ratio. It's not even, is that 25%? No, 0.6 times 4 would be 30. That's not correct. Yeah, it's 24. So that's not even within the right ratio. All right. For science, I just want to pull the BIOS up and program it now. So I've just kind of piqued my curiosity on the BIOS chip program, or the actual mounting of it correctly. So now let's pull it back off. Let's get it programmed. Let's just check that box out off of there, because that's they're still not coming on. I don't think we need to put the battery back in, see if we get the Dell logo, see if we get past it and all that stuff, because it should power on off the charger by itself without any assistance from anything else. And yeah, that math ain't right. It ain't mathing. He's doing math again. That math ain't mathin'. Power management chip. Ooh, yeah. Let me think about that. Power management chip. No, because we should, if the power management chip was messed up, we usually would get the PD controllers would actually pull the 20 volts and then send the 20 volts over to the PD, and then the PD would be not working. I mean, the power management chip would be not working, but at this point, we're still stuck before the power management chip. At least that's what I think. At least that's what my brain is mathing. All right, so here's what we're going to do is we're going to take my T48, and I'm going to put it into a chip reader here, because this is a 512. It's actually 64 megabytes. If you math that correctly, that would 512 divided by 8 is 64. And I'm going to put it in this chip reader, and then we can program it with hands-free, because look, Mom, no hands. And that is so much easier than watching me try to move, and then you guys always try to make me laugh and then I have to start over again. So this goes in which direction? This goes in like that. Press her down, snap this over like that. Boom. Bob is your uncle. So not too hard. I really like that. I like it a lot. Did we figure out if it was a JV? I think it's a JV. Did y'all look at that? Is it a Q or an R? JV. I didn't look at it. Darn it. Led, did you see it? I can't. It's an RJV. So R512JV. I just need the chip number because whenever we try to detect it, it's going to ask me for that. All right, so we're going to detect it, and we are going to select it. So RJV, WSON, good. We'll read it and back it up just like good little people, because we need to make sure that we have their contents backed up, whether it's good or not. So the PD, EC, PM, BIOS. So this BIOS chip is huge, so it has all the information for all the different stuff out in the wild there. The BIOS that I already have one prepared that has a new BIOS region and has a new ME region on it. I don't know if I put a new EC region in it or not. I probably didn't, so we could put a new EC region in it if we want to. And look, we had a verify issue. Interesting. So I'm just going to press down on this, make sure we have a good connection, and I will slow down the reading down to 15 megahertz and see if that helps. Used 3.11 first. Windows for Workgroups. 3.1 edition with a token ring. Hooray! I need to move this window over because I can barely see what the chat's saying. Maybe I can pull this other chat. Nope, can't. It's a known good chip. And we could use a known good chip, that's true. He said bought this chip new, but you know how new is on the internet. Or from China. DOS 5.0 was the first. Oddly, 0.65, 8 times as 5.2. Oh, so it didn't, so that math did 8 times. So, but that's not a ratio of 5 to 20, but it's a ratio of 8. So why are we, is it a bit to byte type of conversion that it's doing? Here, let me slide this over so I can see better. So I'm going to verify this before I save it. Still alive, still alive. Well, Doc is still alive. So are you still in the hospital there, Doc? Doc White, he had some back surgery, some back issues. Man, I'm glad my back didn't get that bad. My back is much better. I'm back to exercising and rode 6 miles this morning. Did my crunches and sit-ups and pull-ups and push-ups. This takes a little bit of time. BIOS is bad. I think the BIOS is corrupted personally, but we don't know until we kind of check that box. Bob's your uncle or your auntie. All right, so let's save this off. We don't actually have a repair ID number for this person because he did not create a ticket. This is one of the first people that have just sent something in randomly, and I don't know what to do. My brain does not compute. So we're going to call this Mark, because that's whatever his name was. XPS 9520. I usually put a repair ID ticket there, ticket number. And, wait, why am I in open mode? I need to go to save mode. Save mode. Save the flash. So we're going to call this original. Now, I'm not going to mess with his BIOS because his BIOS is probably jank. And we don't want a janky BIOS. So I'm going to load one that I have one prepared. Let's see what I got. Let's see what I got. So I have a... These are not going to work on this board because these are actually Precision 5570s. I figured that out later on. It has the wrong region in it. Here we go. No, that's not it. Nope, nope, nope. I swear I had one in here. Okay, here we go. So this one says clean me, but I haven't named it right, so I'm not 100% sure this is a good BIOS, but we will see. So the way this works on BIOSes, so you have your BIOS region, you have your ME region, which is management engine. The management engine is kind of locked to your chipset, and so it's all serialized, and so you have to have that matching. And you can't, in general, just take a BIOS from one board, put it on another one, because it will not have the ME region matching, so you have to put a clean ME region on. So I always put a fresh BIOS in that region, and then I put a fresh ME region in. And sometimes I'll go back and I'll put a new EC region in it if I need to, and this will be a good EC region. It should be, but so ME cleaning is a full reset. It's resetting it basically. So it allows it to reset everything. Now, it's a divorce. Somebody say, yeah, and you even lose your Windows keys. You lose all your keys, your BitLocker keys, your Windows keys, lose keys to the city. That's a nice analogy there, Led. Oh my gosh. 404 exception. We don't like 404 exception errors. Thanks for asking. We got in the 50, let's see. An old scrap. Uh-oh, I lost my screen here. Type in the service code again. So at the end you can do a service tag at the end. You can put it back in. That's not a big deal. When you boot up, it just asks you for it again. But that's not. But the key, the Windows key it's really weird how Windows 11 and Windows 10. So if you had a Windows 10 machine and then you put Windows 11 on it and you were able to upgrade, they actually take your Windows 10 key and they convert it to a digital license and then they activate it. But the key that's in your BIOS, like I can actually extract it out and you could type it into a Windows, but it won't allow it to activate Windows 11 because it's not a Windows 11 digital license key. It's only Windows 10. So you theoretically have to reinstall Windows 10. You can use that key. You can type it in, activate it, then upgrade to Windows 11 if you wanted to use the manual key. Otherwise, you'll have to kind of might be able to put that key region back in. I haven't actually experimented with doing that, but real men repair motherboards, yeah, or waste their all day trying to fix a motherboard and then realize, man, this board had a bad CPU the whole time or something. What if they're a Linux? What keys do you lose then? You lose, like, there's encryption keys that are still stored in there. Any type of whatever you call them, the safe keys stuff, anything that you're storing in your TPM will get lost. What if this is why BitLocker is turned off? That's the best way of doing it, right? We can reinsert it. Have you ever done key reinsertion there, Led, for Windows keys? I need to make a tool that does that. It goes and puts it back in the right spot, or compares regions of the same BIOS. That might be good, where it like finds Windows in stuff and then just puts it back. That would be really neat to make a tool that does. I'm sure I can make that. Hello from Indiana. Linux, you'll lose your beard. You guys are silly. You guys are so silly. All right, we're almost done writing this. So this BIOS chip is huge. That's why it's so slow. And I'm also writing at 15 megahertz instead of 30 because I just had an error. So in general, it's pretty fast because this tool that or this program I use is really fast, but we don't want to have an error. So that's why I put it on slower speed, and then it's also a huge chip. It's like programming 2 chips or 3 chips at the same time. All right, so we got that done. So I will sort it back on. All right, 1 in chat if you think it's going to post. 2 in chat if you think it's going to do the same thing. So post means power on self-test, so it means that it's actually going to turn on and work properly. So 1 if you think it's going to work properly, 2 if you think it's going to do the same thing. Or it's still not going to work, I guess. We've got 2s, 1s. We've got 7, 8, 9. Look at all those. We got 0. Oh no, what's the 0 option? You're going to have to explain that one. Explain yourself. Where's the 69s? There's the 69, there's the 67. We knew they were coming. What about 220, 221s? Do we have any of those coming in? Whatever it takes, right? 42s, there you go. 420s, I thought that would come in too. I hate the 6-7 meme. It's so weird. It's just a ridiculous meme. I don't even get it, you know. I mean, it's ridiculously kind of, I don't know. It's funny that it took off. And I think that's kind of the whole point of it. Is that it doesn't take much for people to be like, oh. So, 420, 220, there's a 220. There's a 666. 121 gigawatts. We know that one. 1.21 gigawatts. Okay. Good. Good. Brand new. 120, 240, 360. Single phase, double phase, triple phase. 80, 86. There's some numbers. A Y2K. Okay, 999. 5150, what's that a reference to? There's an old laptop model of 5150. Is that what you're referencing? Check pin 2. I just refloated. You think I need a check pin 2? Do you think it wasn't good enough? Do you really think? You don't have faith in me? I got faith in me. Oh, should I just plug it in right now and see if it powers on, or should we put it in the machine? Here, I'm going to plug it in real quick. I'm going to cheat. There we go. A Dimension 5150. I'm not even going to put it in the machine. Still not working. 5000E. There you go. That's an old one. Still not working. Still not working. Kaboom. All right, so this should still come on, but it's not. It's not. Let's check for reflow the PDs. Okay. I don't know if reflowing a PD is going to work. I don't know if we should flash this chip too, because he replaced that. Because here's the thing. He said it was bricked, didn't come on at all after Windows Update. Then he flashed both of these chips, or replaced both of these chips. And then now it just does that. Do you think that this could have a bad programming? I've never even programmed one of these before, so I don't mind taking a look at it. Checking, we should check voltages again. Now we're only going to have weird voltages because we're not getting to 20 volts again. But let's just see if we have our 0.6 power rail and our 0.2. 0.65 and our 0.2 is present. Yay! And let me grab a test battery. I'm just going to plug in a battery. See what it does. All right, test battery in full effect. All right, test battery's plugged in. Are we still at 5 volts? We are. Now the question is, what is the question? What was I going to propose? Do we have, okay, so BIOS has been flashed, so we can check that off. The 5 volt, 3.3, and 1.8s aren't present until we have 20 volts on the power rail, I can tell you that. But small chip from the, wait, what did you say? It went away. Small chip reflash from donor board backup. Yes, so that's what that's what I was going to do next. The battery's plugged in. I want to see if our 5 volt and 3.3 are present now. They're not. Let me see if I can power it on. Yeah, I think it's pin 2 and 3. Or, there we go. Let's see. I think it's pin 2 and 3 on here, if I recall, to power it on. But we're obviously getting the 3 volt and the 5 volt power rails when we were on battery, when we were having the machine power on. Oh, this port's not working again. Still 5 volts there. Let me mess with this. Okay. Something. I'm going to flash that chip, I think, is what we're going to do next. We got a 0.05 power rail. If you're interested in that power rail, we got one. If you need one, we got one. What about this one? All right, let's flash this chip just to... We need to rule out all this other stuff. So the Thunderbolt controller chip, we're going to just program that. Should we reflow it too? Do you think that doesn't have a grounding pad on it? I think I should pull it off just to look underneath it. What do you think? If you replaced it. Flip the cable, see if it works. Look at all this flux. It's like hot glue, man. It's hot glue again. That's what it looks like. Maybe that stuff wasn't hot glue earlier. It looks so hot gluey, doesn't it? What kind of flux looks like hot glue? I still think it's a USB-C. But why would it have a BIOS issue? If it had a BIOS issue, then it has a USB-C issue. That doesn't make sense. Or, I mean, if it has a BIOS issue, it would have a USB-C issue if it was trying to program off of that. So this looks okay. Nothing strange to see here. Here's what I could do. I'm just going to pull his chip off and just put one of my chips on here, so that way I don't even have to program it. Unless you want to pull it off and read the contents, we could do that. Because then that's science again, right? Pull the contents off, compare it to the contents of mine, see what they look like, blah, blah, blah. Or we could just pull a chip off and move it over. So get the original files from the tech. Yeah, send them over. Red Rover, send your files over. Here, I'm just going to grab a board, and we're just going to pull one of these chips off of here. So these are all 9520, 9530 boards, whatever it takes. So let's see. Here's one that looks so magically destroyed. Let's see if it's the right board. This one has the integrated discrete graphics, but it should be the same Thunderbolt controller. So let's just grab that off of there. Let me scan it, see what part number it is. It's not telling me. This is a Precision 5570. How can a Precision have no graphics card on it? Are you kidding me? Doesn't even make sense. This says it's the donor board. Does that mean I already stole parts off of it? Oh, let's see. What board is this? L402, I think. This is an L402 or L401, L402. Okay, here's an L402. See, not all these boards I've taken parts off of. That's why I don't like to just grab one willy-nilly off of something. Here we go. Here's another L402. Okay. So this one already has stolen parts. Okay, so I could steal this chip right here. Red Rover, move the chip over. What a weird game. Who is Red Rover anyway? Why are they sending rovers over? What kind of game is that? It's a beautiful chip here. So this one is brand new. It's never been gotten or stolen off this board before. So I'm just going to steal it and move it over. It's very reflective, so it's kind of dimming my camera, sorry. Yeah, we're going to go in here and describe it with no flux because Crazy Nate's in the house. What's your Victor, Victor? What's your vector, Victor? Is that from Airplane? What do you want me to do? Don't steal it. Just read it and flash the other chip. I know, but if we did that, then we would be doing too much science. You want me to read this? You'd rather me read this and then flash it over to that one? Or would you rather me just stick it on here? See, because if I just do this, then I have it off to the side. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Yeah, so I thought about pulling it, flashing it, comparing it. But we could also just do this. Because look at that, we're already done. We're already done. Two bad chips. He replaced 2 chips. That's why we're doing the 2 chips. So we just want to get the 2 chips back to stock. Raw dogging Sundays. Okay. Post it and it's corrupted. Both are corrupted with no backups. Wait. Post and corrupts it. Oh. Well, this one, I don't think that, well, are you right? Okay. Is that what you're saying? Okay, all right. So LED says we need to back it up. So let's back it up. I'm not sure that that's even being flashed when it turns on or not, because that is the Thunderbolt controller. I think that's flashed during like a flashing process. So that, I thought that they would be isolated, but you may be right. I don't know. So I will back it up anyway. So we need a 5x6 reader. Is that the right one? Doesn't fit. Doesn't fit. I need another one. This is a 5x6. See if this 5x6 works. LED So Smart. That's not it. That's a 6x8. Where's my 5x6? I pull down all of my cables here. It's just a safe way of doing it. I have stacks of these boards though, so I'm not super worried about it. Okay, so that works. I would say I have a plethora of boards. I'm not super concerned. I got boards in stock. I got boards coming out my earballs. Okay, gosh, I wish this reflection, maybe I can put something on there that's dark that will block that. Block the reflectivity. There we go. That helps. Okay. So I'm going to hold this by hand because Crazy Nate's in the house. Okay, so this is a 25Q80DV. So you guys remember that. It's a QDV. 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 And QDV right here. Right there. BV works. It was DV, right? Or is it BV? You guys are messing with my brain. Don't be messing with my emotions. This stuff, it does have stuff on it. Okay, so DV and BVs both work. Led, you know so much more about this than I do. I'm just doing what it has. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know the difference between those two chips, nor do I care at this point. All right, so I'm going to call this original like before, but I do want to call it Thunderbolt. Okay, so we have a backup of this. Now we are free to move about the cabin and explode or deprogram. Look at this mess. Look at this. This is like chaos. It's pure chaos happening here. Get this off of here. I can't handle it. My brain's going to freak out with all this stuff all over my desk. Ah, get it out of here. Oh my gosh. Why? Why? Whew. That's much better. Okay. I can handle it now. All right, so is this going to change? I don't think it's going to change. Hoarder. I don't think it's going to change anything. But literally, when I plug this in, it should power on. So if it's going to power on, I don't know. And then I think PD controller's next, I guess. PD controller's next. Raw Dog Repair School. Plugging it in, still nothing. What did he do to this board? What did he do to this board? Want to fix something? You're wasting time doing chores. Oh my gosh. Still not powering on. Now, should we put it back in the case now that we've done this stuff and just see what it does out here? Check the donor board for any moved resistors. I guess we didn't look around there to see if there was missing. But again, it's a PD controller. EC chip or PD controller is my, yes, yeah, you're right. Hold on, let me think about this. Let me come over here. Because we could have had an EC chip issue. Physical inspection, we haven't done that yet either. Let me think about this. Let me think about this. VGA RAM. It's no, the machine's not powering on. We're not even to the point where we'd be doing VGA RAM or anything like that. I'm just trying to get it back to factory state before we start kind of diagnosing it more. But basically, we need to figure out like what the issue is here. So here's the PD controller, one PD controller we could switch out. This is going to be the single port right here. There's our EC chip. This is our 3-volt and our 5-volt power rails. We know these things come on when we power it on the battery. These right here, I've seen these go bad on this machine a lot. This is actually just a kind of an isolator gate that allows this power to flow to the main power rail. And so if you plug in multiple USB-C devices that are powering the machine, it will only allow one at a time to power the main power rail. So I've seen that. I've also seen these go out, like for SSDs. They've shorted out. We haven't checked for any shorts on the board either, because we could have a short somewhere. There's our power management chip. Like I said, I don't think it's a power management chip, because I don't think we're getting to that point, but there could be something there. Missing a 0 ohm resistor, maybe, if it's, but I don't know. He said that this thing just stopped working after a Windows update, is what he thinks. Microsoft Windows update. But I don't know. Do you guys? Because I'm going to look for physical damage. We're going to look for a chip ripped off. We're going to look for something burnt. Some area that's, you know, looks suspicious. And we haven't taken any measurements anywhere either, because we are getting that Dell screen. But the thing is that Dell screen's kind of fake. So it's like, you're like, oh, the machine's actually working, but it's not. It's coming on, but maybe even the RAM's not even powering up, right? So we could still even have a short on the RAM power supply, for all I know. It's not giving us any error codes either. The 1.8's underneath this too, so I wouldn't mind looking at that. But it's interesting, it does give us that logo. on battery only. Haven't tried different RAM, but it doesn't matter because with the RAM not in there, it comes on just the same. So we were getting 1.1 volts here. Flash to EC, that's what the BIOS does. So the new BIOS would have fixed that if it was actually getting to that point. We are missing something right here. So that looks like a capacitor probably. But no, it says PD. So, wait, power diode. So do you think it was a diode that's missing right there? Or do you think it's this one? I'll grab a donor board in a second. Let's just keep looking. So keep an eye on that spot. Here's going to be our other PD controller chip. This is the BGA. This controls both of these ports. And so this is the primary one. And that talks to the EC chip. Our Thunderbolt stuff is underneath. Well, wait, Thunderbolt's here? Or Thunderbolt's here? I don't know. Those might be these are USB 3.0s, I think, and then this is the Thunderbolt over here. And there's that chip we just changed out, Thunderbolt chip. All right, let me pull the heatsink off. We're going to check the 1.8 rail too, and also when I power this on, we're going to try to power this thing back on, but on battery, but under the thermal camera. We want to see if the CPU is coming on, the GPU is coming on. We want to see what's actually trying to power on, or if it's just a fake coming on. Yep, thermal camera's coming. Five volts, 70 milliamps. We should get something heating up with 70 milliamps. You're right. But it's probably just a PD controller. All right, and the heatsink is off. All interposers are good. Those posers are all good. All right, so I'm going to pull this cover off so we can actually access all of this underneath here. There's our 1.8. Nice. I believe this is the 1.8 right here, if I'm pretty sure. So this machine, here's their CPU. There's our chipset, and we have an integrated graphics. So we have some of these are going to be powering the CPU, some are going to be powering the chipset, and some are going to be powering the integrated graphics. So that's what all those power stages are. These three are going to power the GPU, and then we also have a 1.8 somewhere over here, and then we have something for the VRAM. So, and then there's one other coil here. I'm not sure which one what it does, but let me measure over here just to see if we have. I mean, it's funny because I haven't measured anything yet. We could have a short. I'm just not even thinking about it. Okay, y'all ready for this? We're gonna feel so bad if we had a short. So here's our main power rail that powers the GPU or the CPU. And so I'm just going to measure on these coils or caps here. So that's fine. And then we know that we had our 3 and 5s. Those are fine. No shorts there because we have voltage on those. I'm going to measure this one right here. That's fine. Measure this one right here. That's 19. That's probably fine. That's probably the VRAM. Probably okay. And then this one, 53 ohms. That's probably okay. And then this is going to be the GPU, 0.3, that's good. 0.3 is good for a GPU. And the CPU is going to be, I think these are going to be the CPU, these 4 right here. And that's 13, that sounds good. And this is probably going to be pretty high. I think this is probably the integrated graphics. And then these are probably, oh wait, that might be the chipset, I don't know. I don't know what's what, doesn't tell me. PLZ, sometimes it tells you, sometimes it doesn't. So, no short there. I think we're okay with that. All right, let's plug it in and see if we can power it up under the thermal camera. Let's go thermal, right? Is the BIOS chip between the two chips? No, the BIOS is one BIOS chip. This other chip should not have been messed with. That's why I wanted to put it back to stock, because this machine only has one BIOS chip. It's a 512. It's big enough to have all the information stored on one. But there's lots of BIOS chips on every single motherboard, because you're going to have one for the Thunderbolt, and then a lot of times you'll have them next to these over here. So here's another chip right there that controls the PD. Now, did they mess with the UTS-2? Actually, let me read his notes here. His email, he said what he programmed. So he said that he programmed the UH8 and the UTS-1. So UTS-1 and the UT8, which is this one. Oh, UH8, sorry. So those are the two chips that he messed with, but it did not mess with the PD controllers BIOS chips, which are, I only see one for that. So theoretically, we could mess with reprogramming that too, and maybe that would fix it. I don't know. Whatever you think about that. We just got raided. Welcome. One viewer coming in, but I hope you had a good stream over there. So we're working on a 9520 that a viewer sent in that he believes it was a BIOS issue. Oh, here's the BIOS for the GPU, I believe. And so we're still trying to figure out why we're not powering this on correctly. Let's put a battery on this and let's see if we can get this thing to fire up and get it under the thermal camera and see what it looks like. So I'm going to plug a battery in. Okay. Get this lined up. Actually, I need to figure out which pins are the power on, power button. So here's where our power button plugs in, but I don't know which pins are what, and we need to find the 3-volt line or 3.0 basically. Oh, continuity mode, you cannot measure voltage in continuity mode, just to let you know. 3.1, that's probably the correct one. We got ground, but we don't have a 3.3 here, which is strange. Okay, so I think it's this line here, and then I think this is ground. So I think it's those two pins, which I'm pretty sure. So I'm just going to short those together. Let's see if we get any voltages. We're not. Let me plug in the charger while we do this. Send 12 volts straight to random pins. Perfect. So the way a power button works is you're momentarily pulling down a 3-volt line, a signal low, and then that's how it can tell if it's on or not. And so when I did that just now, the voltage on the charger went down to 0 and came back up. Now I could try to going to this side. This is at 0.03. Why is this? I'm having a hard time believing that this thing, why was this thing coming on? Did you hear something? No, I didn't hear anything, but I'm just confused on like, how are we getting this thing to come on in the machine? You know? Because it doesn't seem to want to do anything here at all. I'm going to put it back in here. I guess we can look at it under the thermal camera still because we can do it without the heatsink. The pin moved. I know whenever I poke these things, I'm like sitting here mashing the solder. VDD. I know, it felt like it was missing voltage, didn't you? But it worked off the battery. Was my battery charged? That's my test battery, not the other battery. I didn't even check that. So his battery we know does power it on. Or not his battery, this is a battery that's, you know. Did you turn it off and on again? This is a battery from a machine, a different machine that we're working on. Let me just put a screw in here so I don't end up causing more damage. And the board falls out on the desk. Okay, try it again. Going thermal. Wait a minute. This isn't plugged in. Okay, battery plugged in. So I'm going to go thermal, but I'm going to try to press the power button on this side on the touchpad. All right, capiche. Okay, power button is being pressed. Oh, you know what's interesting, guys? Look at this. Now it's worse. Worse. What did we do earlier? Let's think about this. All we did was changed out the BIOS chip, but we had it turn on after that or not? I did it. I did it worse. I broke another laptop. Diode missing. Check. Yeah. Oh, was that the diode? Yeah, that's right. We didn't even check to see what that chip was. That one thing was missing here. Over here, it's a resistor. Have the battery unplugged. This is our donor board. So we did see a missing resistor. Yep. Well, there would be your sign right there. So we have a resistor that on our board is missing. So that's something. Check for shorts on the USB ports. But what? No, whenever we have that, what the what? Did I put a good BIOS on there? Remember I was saying, because I didn't note it. Usually whenever I have a good BIOS, I name it correctly. Instead, I just kind of like had it named kind of generically, which doesn't give me 100% confidence that that's a good BIOS. So, did I waste our time? I don't know. I don't know. I don't like that. No, sir. Don't like it at all. All right. So, here's what I'm going to do. Plan of action. We're going to put that resistor back on. I'm going to pull the BIOS off. I'm going to reprogram it with a BIOS that I know does work, but it partially works. Or we can make a new one from scratch. Should we make a new one from scratch? Or should we, I have one that's kind of, the Precision 5570 will work on this machine. It's just really slow when it boots up because it doesn't actually go to it. But it does work on it, I know that. So what do you want me to do? Make a new one. Because there's a little bit more of a process, obviously, to make a new one. We'll have to extract it from another board. This board right here, maybe. This has a BIOS on it. New. Make a new BIOS. Okay. Save it for the next job. Thank you. Okay, so we'll have to take this BIOS chip off of here, off of our donor board, and then I'll extract the contents. We'll make a new BIOS out of it, save it out, all perfect. Maybe I'll even put a new EC region in it too, because then we make sure we have all the stuff brand new on it. And then we will probably a fake BIOS from overseas. You're right. Yeah, I think 100% it was from overseas. And what if it's one of those things where it's like a Temu 4 terabyte flash drive or something? Or they say it's like a 128 terabyte drive or something, but it's only a 4 terabyte like SD card or 256 SD card. They just flash some firmware to make it look like it's big. Big like bull, like 512. All right, let's replace this one component here. That way I can just check that box because I keep forgetting about it. So this is what we just figured out when we just did our physical inspection. There's supposed to be a resistor right here. And the resistor is missing. And if we have a resistor missing, we could have this symptom, right? Correct? We could have a weird thing where it's not powering on. Very common. 128 GBs. TBs. 128 terabytes. You know how like people will sell on Temu? They'll sell things that are crazy. It's like this, like a hard drive that says 128 terabytes, but it's really just a like a SD card stuck in a thing. You know, I don't know. Maybe you guys don't know what I'm talking about. Change the BIOS. At the same time, they're linked. What's linked? Change both. There's only one BIOS on this machine. There's only one BIOS. But there's a million BIOSes. BIOSes. There's only one BIOS that actually runs the machine. I'm trying to find where we are. Okay, here we go. This is the resistor we need to take. What size do you think this is? Yeah, BIOSes. So if you have one BIOS, it's a BIOS, but if you have more than one BIOS, they're BIOSes. BIOSes. Because it's so hard to actually say it. I don't know. This thing measured like really high. I don't really understand what it's for. Is it really a 1 meg or something? Is it just a pull-up? Or a 600K or something? Is it very big? Is it so big? It's just a pull-up or pull down. Not really transferring any real stuff. Maybe it's having a floating signal. Stay. Stay. All right, so at least we did find one missing component, but I don't know if this is going to do it. Okay, so that's done. Check that box. The next box is going to be a Beyonce rewrite again. All right, so I'm going to pull my donor board's chip off first. We'll rip the contents and we'll make a new BIOS out of it, and then we'll have that ready to save. 128 teraBIOSes. Now, that's really dry humor. TeraBIOSes. I bought a USB stick from eBay and obviously dodgily based on the price and the gig. I got my money back and reformatted the size. So what size did it end up reformatting to? But that's the thing, it's like if you can reformat the thing down to the original size, you're like, oh, okay, it really only is like a 2 gigabyte or something. Check the voltages first. On my test board? Or what? This is my test board where I have all the parts stolen from it. There ain't nothing on this. There ain't nothing to test on this one. Where's the on-screen software? Which software are we talking about? You're talking about my spike power meter? Right now we're working on USB mode. On USB mode, we're still using my other program because it actually shows the 20 volts versus not 20 volts. All right, so we're going to extract the data off of this. This is my donor board's chip. So it has a theoretically good BIOS, it just needs to be cleaned. Oops, wrong screen. There we go. I had a 32 gig fake flash drive. Original storage was 16 gigs, but it's corrupted 8 megabytes after filling the 2 gig. Oh my gosh. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's crazy. That's what I'm talking about. That's crazy. People are so scammy. Why you gotta be so scammy, people? All right, so let's connect to this chip. Let's try that again. Let's connect to this chip. Nice. Should be good. Read. Late watching. Oh, so you were at church? I'm sorry. I know. I ended up doing this during that holy time, but I have to cater to the entire world. The entire world needs to join in. Depends on the partitioning. What's the worst part about fake and counterfeit drives is that they're extremely slow because they're probably USB 2.0. You know? Why not put that one on the bad board? Because it doesn't have an ME region that's set to this board. So the ME management engine is set to the chipset on the other board. So just transferring it over doesn't work. Now, we could reprogram this one and put this chip on there. We could do that, but we first have to clean it up. So we have to take the data off of it, rewrite it, fix it, put it back on there. Can we replace the board and call it a day? That's what we could do. This board is, I think I have $600, I think, for this board, for the same version. What now? What now? Okay, so we have it saved. No, wait, I haven't saved it yet. I need to save it now. So on this, let me see if I have a folder already. Just a plain folder. I don't. Okay. So I'm going to create a new one. I'm just going to call it 9520. And I'm going to call this one RIP. And so when I call it RIP, I mean it's a working version of the BIOS, but it's not set or it's not cleaned yet. And so now we need to go through our fun stuff here to go through and get it going. All right, so we're going to open that folder up. I have to open up a bunch of folders here. That's not the folder I need. We will need that one though. Tools, and we need to open ME Analyzer. Okay, open another one. I usually have all these open, but I had to restart my computer before the stream. And it's tools. Okay, so we're going to start with ME Analyzer. We need to analyze this BIOS to figure out what version of the ME region there is. So we're going to open that up. And we'll copy that over onto here. So anything you see in here, you can just search on the internet to go find it. All right, so this says it has ME region 16.1. It says to use the ME tool of 16.0. I think we can use 16.1 also, but who knows? We'll try. So we're going to open up our 16.0 here. And this doesn't always work, but we'll try it. So I'm going to pull up the file, and I'm just going to drop it on here and see if it works. Nope, it doesn't. So whenever I have this error here, LED, I don't know what your routine is on this, but whenever I have this error, I'm going to try it through all of these, but it means that the file system's locked, the ME region's locked. Is that your what you've seen? And so I have a trick to fix that, but it's just like it takes me a little bit more time in order to get this thing going. But let me open up 16.1 and see if it does it on 16.1. 16.191. It's this one. All right, so I'm going to copy it on here, see if it does it. So it's still giving me the initialize the MFS error. So what do you say you do there, LED? Got 16.0, fixed with the wrong chip. So when I have this, it's always locked. Like I could take it from a fresh board, it's always the ME region's locked. And the way I fix that is I come here to, what do I do here? I have to refresh my memory. I'm gonna have to go to what is it? Okay, so let me open the file in here. What did you miss? Sam, you missed so much stuff. All right, so I have it opened up. I'm editing the actual extraction here, and I don't want to update that right now. And then what I want to do is I want to find how big that partition is. So I'm going to come to another tool here. We're going to open up UEFI tool, and I need to extract the ME region. Darn it. Replace. How do you replace it with ESF, fresh extraction? Can I I've tried replacing it through here, it doesn't work. So what, darn it, what I usually do is I open this here and then I just figure out where the region is and then copy it in there. ME Analyzer. Wait, hold on. What are you saying here? Send the file to me on Discord. Replace it. Yeah, so I was going to show people how I do it, and that's why I'm trying to remember how I do it, though, because I just did it the other day. All right, let me open this back up. Open. Give me a second. Let me try it, and if I can't do it, then I'll send it to you. All right, open it here. And here's the ME region. I'm going to extract it into that folder. I'm going to call it ME region locked. And what I want to see is this size of it. Yeah, okay, so that's the right size. Okay, so this is 10, can y'all read that? Can y'all see that? I don't know. 10, it's 10 megs, okay? So if it's locked and it's 10 megs, then I actually have a region that's already made. And so now I'm going to go and open that, which is here. 16 point. So I have one right here that's already ready to go. Wait, is that the one? Let's see, ME region. ME region. Trying to find one that's 10 megs. So there's a locked one. I think of this one. All I do is I just replace a region of it, and then it opens fine. It works. And then I just replace all that later on. That's all I'm basically doing, is I just need to find the one that I can replace it with temporarily. And now I'm trying to figure out what the lead says he does. $19.19. There we go. This is the one I use. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to open that. Okay, so now I have it open. So this is the ME region I'm going to replace inside of this one. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to copy this portion, and then I'm going to find that region in here. Find it in here. Okay, there's the region. And then now I'm going to take this entire file and inject it right here. Paste. And then I'm going to save as. I'm going to look at your message in a second. Sorry, I can't see it right this second. Let me just save this off. Okay, so now I can close that. All right, what did you say, Led? Also, the scripted region is of clean me. So I've never been able to use this area right here. So you're saying if I just clean this right here, does it clean it? If I replace this area, the first 30 lines of the file. Interesting. Well, so I'm just going to show you what I did now. So now that I have that region replaced, we got a crazy screen up here for you. Let me see if I can pull this up, back up. Where's all my windows? All right. Don't want this to be too chaotic here, but now we have it going. Now I can open this tool back up, 16.1. And now I should be able to drag this on here and it works. So I have the unlocked region in here and it should just load just fine. Boom, it loaded just fine. All right, so once we have it loaded in here, I can actually close this back. All right, I need to save it out. Actually, let me make sure I don't have a file in here. I need to get rid of this untitled. There we go. So now I'm going to save it out, and I'm saving the session of this decompose. So when I open up that file, it's going to decompose it and break it up. And what the? Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm getting raided by a raider there. All right, so basically when I open this up, it decomposes it and it breaks it into a bunch of regions. So now we have that all broken up. That's fine. We're going to replace the ME region anyway. We're going to replace that region right there. We can replace the EC region if we want. You sent me a message. Let me take a look at that. Give me a second here. You didn't send it. You must have tagged me in it. Did you send it directly to me, or did you tag me in it? When you tag me, it's hard for me to find it. I have a hard time. But I'm going to replace these two regions right here. Send that to me again. And let me pull up the BIOS, a fresh BIOS that's already extracted here. Why do I not have one? Interesting. All right, so I need to download a BIOS from Dell. We already have one, right, on our flash drive. But I'll download it again since we already have it pulled up here. So I'm going to download that BIOS that we did before, which is the RCV file. I'm going to rename it. And I'm only going to call this 9520 because I don't want it to be mixed up with the other one. It actually has multiple regions in it on these, so basically, the precision version of the board has a different ME region that's larger than the regular version. So right, let me copy this title here, and I need to extract this BIOS. And is it this extraction? I think it might be this extractor tool. All right, good. So I was able to extract that BIOS into a new folder here. So now we actually have all the new files that we want to replace it with. And I'm going to sort it by size. And so if we sort this by size and I want to compare the differences, I just realized you can't see my screen. Sorry about that, guys. All right, I got this pulled up again. I can't see the chat right this second because I don't have that pulled up. All right, so let's see what you're saying. Someone erased his BIOS. Oh, I don't know what's going on out there. You guys have a lot of crazy stuff going on. So main BIOS region is 32 megs. The extracted BIOS region here is 32 megs. The East ME region is 7.4. The clean ME region is going to be 9.9. You want these to be fairly close. So you don't want it to be like 3 megs versus 9 megs, okay? So why not grab a BIOS from Dell? We just grabbed, this is the BIOS from Dell that I just grabbed. That's what this is, it's extracted. So this one you have to take all this stuff off. So this region, UEFI tool 1.6. Where do I get that? Did you send it to me? I want that. Here, did you send me a direct message there, Led? Because that would be useful if I had that other UEFI tool, because I can't find one that actually does this other stuff, so I have to do it all manually. Anyway, I'm just trying to get through what we have here. So anyway, I'm going to take these two new regions and I'm going to put them in here. And then I'm going to replace these two regions. So I've got to copy the name of there and replace that, paste. So now this region is not going to be used. And then I need to still take this nomenclature here. And then we're going to put it in there like that. And so these two regions we don't need. Those are the old ones that are old. I'll get rid of those. The other thing we want to replace is, if we want to replace the EC region, we can, but it's not the right size. So this is 1.1 megs. This one is the ME region, EC region. The EC region is only 300 kilobytes here. There's a couple of them here. And it's because it's in there multiple times. So we have to copy and paste it over and over again. So in general, I don't even deal with that. So I'm just not going to deal with that, but we can. If we want to open this region up like this, we just double click on it, and then we can double click on this one, and that will open up into our editor here. And so this is the ME region, the EC region that is 1 meg, and then this is the EC region that's new. And so I would just copy this portion to find that area on here. Oh no, actually, I copied this area. Wait, why is it so different? This one's even more different. That's what it is. Yeah, I need to find this region. So I copy this, find, paste, and then we need to find it in here. Nope. I generally don't even replace the EC regions on these if I don't have to, because they're a little bit more finicky. So I'm not going to worry about it. So we can actually reopen this and actually build this up, and it will be a good new file anyway. And let me check on Lead Farmer while that's happening. This is a new BIOS, so it should have a good EC region regardless. So I'm not super concerned with the EC region being all messed up. Open file. All right, so we just loaded all the files back in here. And now we can actually just write it out as a save and build. All right, so it's built. So now if we come back over here, we'll actually see it. We have a new file created. This is it. I'm going to cut this out of here, and I'm going to move it over here. And so I always rename this. So it's going to be XPS 9520, clean ME, new BIOS. All right. So there we go. So now that's ready to go. Let's see if Lead sent me anything. All right, alpha 60.1. Okay. Nice. Do they have a built version of it? Or do I have to compile it myself? Okay, it looks like we have a new version here of the UEFI tool that Lead Farmer just sent to me. Thank you, Lead. Let me move this into my tools folder. All right. So I'm going to cut that. We'll move this over here. I'll just put it in here. All right. So tell me all about this one there, Lead. This tool. The suspicious tool that I'm opening here. What is this tool doing? Is it opening? 60.1. So if I open, I'm going to open this locked one up. Okay. All right, what we got cooking here? It's spyware. I tell you, it's spying on me. So, are we streaming? Yes, Dave. Dave, sorry, man. Yeah, I was supposed to be out of town, and then I ended up canceling, and I was like, well, instead of sitting around, I might as well stream. So, yeah, we're streaming. We're streaming. Okay, let's replace the areas. Okay, so hold on. Let me move this over because I can't see what you're saying. Close that. Okay, so let's see. Let me pull up Lead's chat here. Okay, so let's replace the areas you made by wild floor lamp. Extract the region, replace the unlocked descriptor. Descriptor extract as good. Okay, so we want me to extract the descriptor. So I'm just going to do it in here. Okay, and then we edit part of that. And then what we're talking about, extract region and replace the unlocked descriptor. But how do, so basically if I just replace that, it fixes it? Or just from a good one? Okay, so I need to take a descriptor from a good one and use that as my replacer. But what if I just edit it? Does that work too, or not? Replace as old file or volume locally. You can use a good file and replace on a broken one. Okay, that's kind of what I was doing before with the ME region thing, as I was replacing it, but sometimes I wasn't able to put it in there. So if I go open another one, let's just say I open one like this one I just made even. If I open this one and then I extract this region as a good one, right, and I call it good, then I can put it inside the other one. Is that what you're saying? When you do a clean ME, it unlocks the regions in the BIOS descriptor. The clean ME is needed. Okay, interesting. All right, I'm going to have to mess around with that more. That's definitely a strange thing. I want to sit around and kind of play around with that. I don't want to sit there and spitball this on live TV forever. But let me, because I think we got it working now. But I like that now I actually have that in my toolbox instead of having to manually do that, because that was a pain in the butt. So last thing I need to do, now that we have this all going, let's flash this chip back with this new BIOS we just made. And we made one, 920, clean ME. This has a new BIOS and a new ME region in it. There you go. And we're going to program that. Damn you, BIOS. Damn you. All right. Okay, so that's flashing. While that's flashing, what do we got? What we got? Used MX for a while. Copy the EC and the BIOS off the donor board so you can program it. But the EC is programmed when you turn it on. So the BIOS contains the EC information. So I'm not going to copy any EC region, and we have it in the downloaded version of from Dell. We could inject it in there if we need to. Does that UEFI tool allow you to replace EC regions? Because that would be nice. That would be a very nice thing. Hydrate. Oh, am I slowing down? Yeah, you're right. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, that's what starts happening. I just like start getting a little slower. I don't have a coffee today either. I didn't bring a coffee. All right. I do have a juice in the fridge. I should grab that. I just want to take a look at this here while that's flashing. So we got BIOS region, ME region, but there's no EC region in here, huh? Man, I thought it was going to be easy. Why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. Yes, it changes to serial number. The green juice. I need to go get my green juice. I already had 2 coffees today. I woke up at 6, and then I had my cup when I woke up, and then I had a cup before I left the house. So normally I bring a cup here, but I only drink 2 cups of coffee a day. So that's kind of my limit, or else I get too jittery. Look, see, this thing is still erasing. Here, I'm going to go grab a green drink from the fridge real quick. I'll be right back. Give me a second. I can still talk to you, actually, because it's wireless. But so that's flashing, and if that ends up not changing, what's our next game plan, right? Because right now we're still thinking like the BIOS is the issue, but I kind of want to just change out both of those PD controller chips too. We got that. Oh, that's right. We just changed out the resistor, so the BIOS and the resistor should actually do something different. That should actually do a solution of some sort, or something at least different. But I don't know. Okay, yep, got a green drink in here. What do we got? Ginger green, kale, spinach, pineapple, and ginger. That will give me a boost. All right. So this stuff looks good. And that's programming. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. All right, so this is what we got. And should do good. Bring me a beer too. I'll have some beer this afternoon. Ooh, I love that ginger. Yeah, it's kale and spinach. Pineapple ginger. 3/4 cup kale, 1/4 cup pineapple, 1 cup of spinach, and 1 teaspoon of ginger. Sounds good to me. And it's done. I can't believe. Is it gonna work? I have no clue. Is it gonna work? I don't know. All right, let's solder this back on here. We did replace that resistor. So with those 2 things said or done, I think we have a good chance that something's gonna happen. Now, which board is his board? I think it's that one. Don't get the boards mixed up now. Oh, wait. We just programmed it back to our chip. So I guess we can just pull his chip off. We'll put it off to the side. We'll use our chip. That actually sounds better. All right, so right now, we pulled, this is his other chip, so we have one of our chips on there, and we'll put a second one of our chips on there. And then we can rule out him having a bad chip, too. Or not rule it out, but not have to deal with it. Fuba. Looks like an expensive vegetation bottle. Yeah, I don't know how much they are. I think they're like $2. $2.50. I mean, it's definitely expensive in the grand scheme of things, but it is a good grab and go. All right, look at this beautiful chip. Beautiful. Wind bond. we go. Beautifully done. Now what? Now it's gonna work. I don't know. Do you think it's gonna work? I don't know if it's gonna work. You think? I don't know. $2.50 is not expensive for that size of bottle. You know, I could be lying. I have no idea. I got it from Whole Foods, so it probably means it's $10 a bottle. Now, I think it's under $5 for sure, but ooh, gives me a buzz though. That's all I know. All right, do you guys want me to install it, or you just want me to plug in the power? Because if I install it, I mean, I can just, we can do it under the thermal camera. That's actually what we should do. Still hot. It's $4.99. Oh no, did I pay $4.99 for that thing? $5. That's crazy. Okay, do you drink green tea? Not generally. Sometimes I'll have some green tea. I still have a poll there? What was that poll? New BIOS. Oh, that was a while ago. That was a while ago. Yeah, I try not to drink too much. Like the tea caffeine is a little bit, affects me differently. It's weird, I don't know. Or maybe it's the tea itself, but so I don't generally feel good whenever I drink that type of stuff. All right, I'm ready to plug it in. You ready? Keep an eye on the power meter, 3, 2, 1. Nothing. Nothing. What? Still the same. Still the same. You know, he's already spent 5 hours trying to fix this. What? We're at 2 hours. And I've dealt with this a lot. This one's still doing the same thing. So what are we thinking? Hijacking YouTube to get mod on this channel? Oh, you want mod? I have to look at your history. PD controller works with battery plugged in, correct. So it means we're missing a power source. Let's go to our power management chip. No, because the PD controller, yeah, so it means it's not getting its power. I'm gonna look at the power management chip just for kicks. I don't think that it has anything to do with anything, but could be something. Was it charging? Did we even see it charging the battery too when it was powering on? I don't want mod. Nobody wants mod. It's like clocking you in. You have to go to work. It's a lot of work. So we don't even have 20 volts or 5 volts here. Even though we're plugged in, we got 5 volts on the board. We don't even have 5 volts there. Okay, so that's something. So let's go back over here and see how far any of this stuff is going. But I think we should be focusing on PD at this point. Yes, it charged at 3 amps. I'm pretty sure it did start charging after a little while. So we don't have 5 volts there. We don't have 5 volts there. We got 5 volts there. So 5 volts coming in. We don't have 5 volts coming out. And then it should go to each one of these. We should have 5 volts on that one and no 5 volts on this one. But so one port goes to this one port goes to that one. So we have 5 volts coming into this one, but nothing here. But I'm going to move ports, plug into this one. And then now I'll check here. I should have 5 volts. I do, and I don't have 5 volts on this one anymore. And then we should have it come out of this one and come and energize this area here. But it's not getting past that. Let me take this junk off of here. I need to see what's underneath that. I think we need to... I also want to go back and kind of see if this thing posts now, because remember we made it worse. Did we make it better now? Did it make it better now? It's like, is it powering on again, or do we have that orange light of death? Check the SD. Like, we haven't identified a short anywhere because this machine was powering on. But I'm gonna, before I start chasing my wheels, I need to see that this thing actually is powering on again. Otherwise, how did we make it worse? You should sleep more. Am I seeming a little tired? I slept 7 hours last night. Just after a while of talking and focusing and thinking and talking and focusing and thinking, I slow down. How does a BIOS corrupt itself? It's a way of just destroying itself. It commits suicide on its own. No, usually it's from a BIOS update that's failed, and a lot of times Microsoft is pushing out these BIOS updates inside their Windows updates every 2 weeks. And so we have a situation where the user is not being told that the laptop is being updated, or the firmware is being updated, and then they just throw it in their bag and it shorts it out, or fries out, turns off, doesn't finish flashing or whatever. I've also seen it with power surges. That will do it too. But all right, let's see if this thing is going to give us an orange light of death. Plug in the battery. Okay. All right, so now it's back to powering on again. So now let's go into the thermal camera. Oh, gosh. Okay. So you went back and checked. It went up to 3 amps. So it settled at 1.6 at 40 watts. Thank you for checking on that for me. So I knew that it was working through the charger afterwards. So right now I have the battery unplugged. I'm going to plug in the battery and I'm going to plug in the charger. I want to see if it does anything. We're under the thermal camera too. Now, if this thing was working properly, it should jump up to 20 volts automatically, right? But it's just sitting there at 0.06. So let's just see if we see anything warm at 0.06. So we see this side of the board right here. That's going to be the PD controller for this one on this side. And then we also have, ooh, a bright, ooh, something. What is that? What do we have there? That's only 30 Celsius, but that's still hotter than it should be. The EC is working. Oh, actually, this should be the EC, right? Where's the EC at? No, oh yeah, so this right here is going to be the PD controller on the other side. But what is this thing? Let's do split view. See if we can identify what it is. So it's that guy, which is probably some sort of LDO, but an LDO that may be shorted to something. So low voltage, low dropout voltage. Yeah, 2.3 is not correct voltage. 4.7 is not correct voltage. 2.7 is not correct. 2.3 is not correct, right? In the middle is going to be ground. So let's make sure we don't have a short on one of those pins. And then I'm going to turn the thing on. I want to see if I'll turn it on battery and see if we have a CPU or GPU coming on. So we're in continuity mode now. Let's just figure out if we have some sort of short over here. So no short. I think that we just don't have enough voltage in order to power this or bring it up to the right level, right? Because it's sitting at 5 volts on there. So I'm not super concerned with that at this point. Right? None of those were shorted. We were in continuity mode. So we have no short there, no short there, no short there, no short there. And that's ground. So that an LDO will get hot. That's just how it is. UT7 is dead. It's dead, Jim. It's dead. I don't think it's dead. I think it just doesn't have enough voltage in order to create its output. If it's a linear voltage regulator, that it's taking a ratio of 20 volts, and I don't think it's taking 5 volts, so it doesn't have enough. New microwave power meter. All right, so let's plug this back in. Let's go thermal again. So the battery's plugged in. It's not doing it. Now I'm going to plug in the power meter. I mean the USB-C. USB-C, it comes on. And the thing is, it's okay for it to be on, because it's only 30. It's not like super hot. And you'll have LDOs be warm when they're on. So I'm not super concerned with that. But it was something that stood out. So let's go back here. But I am concerned with this. This is kind of, looks a little bit warmer than it should be. On that side. So top left, do we see something else? Top left. I think it's a bad PD controller on this side. That's going to be my guess. But let me turn this thing on. I don't see anything else. There we go. We went to 20 volts. All right, so look at that PD controller. Ooh, look at that thing's on fire. Ooh, okay. I'm pretty sure that's the PD controller. CPU is on. GPU is on. Okay. So top left, you're saying top left some more? So top left's over here, right? I'm telling you, USB-C ports. I know. I've been thinking it's that the whole time. I never thought it was the BIOS, ever. I'm going to pull this out so we can actually look at that while we're turning it on. Oh, does the 20 volts go to the battery when it's plugged in? The battery runs at 12.6 volts. So it's 11.1 volt nominal, and then when it's charged up, it's 12.6. And so there's a battery. This board will take the 20 volts and creates a secondary power rail for the main power rail that is battery voltage, which I believe on this machine is 12.6. So, and then that's what powers everything else. It's 12.6. Have you examined the USB-C sockets? Here, we'll just get this out of the way. We'll do some socket examination. Who wants to examine a socket? Let's do it. So this is socket number uno by itself. How's that socket look to you? Let me adjust my camera here. This is too high. Looks fine. Looks okay. Let's do these guys. There's no big melt holes in it. Them sockets are good. We got some good sockets. Okay. Let's turn this thing on now on the bench, or plug it in on the bench. We need a battery though. Where's our battery at? Where'd our battery go? All right. Let's go thermal. Thermal underwear. This is the PD controller that was on the other side of the board. Actually, let me see if I'm trying to show you where we're at here. All right, so this is where it was. We had it turned on and it was warm right here. And so we flip it over. There's a PD controller chip here that controls this one. And I think that's the chip that's getting blazing saddles. This guy right here. Blazing saddles. So I'm going to plug it in. So it's warm. It's warm right now, but it's not really hot. And if we look at the other PD controller, it's not warm at all. It's going to be over here. That's going to be the LDO. But this is the PD controller chip that's on this side that I'm actually plugged into, and it's not warm at all. Okay, so that's what I want you to kind of pay attention to, is this one's on the opposite side, and I don't even have anything plugged into it, and it's hot. Okay, so now let's plug a battery into it. Try to turn this thing on. No PD controller, no problem. You guys are crazy. You're crazy, I tell you. I'm going to try to turn this thing on. Those two pins, I believe. Can't believe. There we go. Does that look hot enough to you? Yeah, I believe there's our problem. That's not supposed to do that. 47, no good. All right, so that's going to be our bad one. You know, it only took us 2 hours and 23 minutes to be precise. LDO is probably for the right power. Yeah, so this LDO right here that's getting warm, or low dropout power supply, is probably trying to power this and having issues, and that's why it's pulling it low. And so let's just pull this chip off right here, and that's it. And it's easy. And the repair is easy. It's a pizza. And we can go buy our pizza and be done with it. And so this is, if you're wondering, it's a CYPD 601828 something 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 something. These are programmed, so you can't just grab a new one of these. You have to grab one off of a board that's already programmed. I called the PD earlier, yeah. I thought it was a PD controller from the get-go, and I thought it was this side from the get-go, but because somebody else has already programmed BIOS chips and done all this stuff, you have to kind of do all this other things. Not a bug, it's a feature. It's a space heater. It's smoking. All right, so we're gonna remove this beautiful, beautiful PD controller. Plug in the USB device into that. Oh yeah, we couldn't ever get the USB device to work on this side either. All right, and the PD controller is off. And we'll just grab one off of this board. Does this board even have one? Hey, it has one. So friendly. Such a friendly PD controller. So we're just gonna take this one here. Should be the same one. Should we make sure it's the same one? I should get some shorts from this one, maybe. It takes so much work to create a short, and then there's like no real reward off of it. It's the problem. All right, you guys got to concur for me. All right, CYPD 60128 6 ones, two, numbers are hard. 48LQXI. Okay, concurrence. Preparing to concur. Preparing to concur. Oh my gosh, you guys are so funny. You guys are so funny. All right, so the chips match. Chips match. I'm gonna mark this other one so I don't accidentally grab it again. All right, let's pull this off here. Computing. Preparing to compute. Okay, now I'm losing it. Now I'm losing it. Ready to bounce a concurrence off of you. All right, so we're gonna pull this one off, dry style. We didn't even flux that one. We didn't even flux it. Okay. Get our focus on here. This should work, right? 3 hours transferred. Turned into 2 minutes. I know, that's how those shorts are. It's like, all right, that was so easy. Make it look so easy. New day, new laptop to repair. And what do we have here? Well, this machine no longer turns on, but if you press the power button, it does power on battery, and you get the Dell screen, but that's not the only problem. Now, here's the thing. This customer has worked on this for 5 hours, and he's even changed out the BIOS chip and this other chip here, but I'm going to go ahead and change these out just to make sure that everything's working properly. And to my surprise, it's still doing the same thing, so back to the drawing board. And now I'll take a look under the thermal camera. And what do I see here? This chip right here is getting excessively hot, and most likely it's due to a bad PD controller chip. So let me grab a donor board and get this replaced. And I saved another laptop. There you go. There was your short. You want a short? You got a short. Did I put that on the right direction? I don't know if I paid attention to that. I did. Pen one, okay. He's lost it, I tell you, he's lost it. That's how I do my shorts, though. I'm like on the microphone, and I'm just like, and I'm doing this crazy announcer voice, and it just goes and on and on and on, and I can't believe that. And the people are like, is that AI? I'm like, no, it's my voice, but it's very AI-ish because I'm sounding like this because it's really weird. But it keeps the thing going. And before I know it, I saved it on the laptop. Okay. He's lost it. Crazy Nate's lost it. That'd be funny if I can actually edit that now. I take this live and then edit that into a short and use that as the audio and just take all the clips, the footage, and put it together. That would be cray. All right. I'm inclined to just put this in here. Do you want me to do it on the bench first, or should I just put it in here and see if I'll have to put the heatsink back on. Let's see. Oh, I guess we can just plug it in. If we just plug it in here, it should power on right here. Okay. Are we good? Did we fix it? 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And we got 20 volts. I can't believe. Oh my gosh. I saved another laptop. We're only at 0.26 though. And back down. Is it going to come back up? It doesn't like something. So we got 20 volts now. But it should actually be powering on more than that. Let me plug a battery in. Plug a battery in. 0.26 is not enough current. 1 amp. And the CPU is coming on. I can't believe. Okay. Woo. Okay. There we go. All right. Let's put this back together here. Check all the power rails. I'm going to have to do it fast. I have to put the heatsink back on, though, because it keeps wanting to turn on. But the CPU came on, so we know the power rails are coming on. Looks like it's booting for me, to me. Great success. And before I know it, I was able to power this thing on and make this thing work. Just a daub of thermal paste on top of all this other thermal paste, just to add to the thermal paste pile. But that will make it nice and cool. And again, I will clean all this stuff up later. I just do this testing quickly, a quick test. You've done it again! Crazy Nate has striked all over again. All right. I reviewed another PD controller chip. Yeah, I should have changed that out first. Instead, I have a pile of chips over here. I spent hours on this, not knowing what was causing this, but after I tried the PD controller chip, I was able to save another laptop. Crazy Nate's mental well-being fund. Thank you so much. 10 pounds from Atari. Man, you are crazy. Or is it euros or pounds? Is that euros or pounds? That's euros, right? Gosh, my brain. Well, thank you, Atari. $2 per hour. There we go. Yeah, but I have fun hanging out with you guys. You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. Okay. How many screws do we need? How many screws do we need to screw in a light bulb? The resistor we already did. We got that resistor replaced. Thanks for keeping an eye out. Keeping me safe, sane. The flux makes people crazy. I know. Maybe it's all the flux I'm smelling. I'm huffing flux every day. Fans. A fan. So keep that in mind. So in the future, if you do see a Dell screen hanging on a Dell screen, you'll see it as a PD controller issue also. If this does post. I'm assuming it's going to post. Hit the like button if you think I'm awesome. What the flux? You've seen the image of the cops in electrical components while shouting, "Stop resisting!" The resistance is strong. Okay, that's plugged in, that's plugged in, that's plugged in. Okay, here we go. It's gonna work. 3, 2, 1. We got 20 volts, 0.06, 0.08, 4.3, and we're gonna jump to an amp. There it is. That's what we want. Do we have picture? We don't have picture. Oh, I got dim backlight. We got dim backlight. That doesn't always mean a bad thing, but maybe I need to reset my plug here. We'll give it a second. It may reset the backlight. I've seen that happen before too. Resistance is futile. So doing the CMOS reset. It has to program the EC chip right now. There we go. We got backlight. And we got the secure by double. I saved another laptop. That was it. That's what we needed. That message right there. All right. So, moral of the story. It was a combination of things. We needed to change out that BIOS chip. We needed to change out that other chip. We needed to change out all that stuff. Now the question is, should we put all his stuff back on? Right now we have it in engineering mode, but it is booting up and working. Fans are working. Another man of science. I do declare that I was able to save this board due to science. It was science, I tell you. Oh, here's his chips. So here's a pile of chips here. I need to put his chips back on. Where's the Windows booting? You want me to put Windows booting in here? You want it? You got it. You want Blanche? Ooh, Blanche looks, she's all pretty. She has like her glamour shot on. You know which Blanche I'm talking about, people. You guys don't forget Blanche. Date's blinded by science. He's blinded by science. JFix, 7 months. Man, you the man. You the man. You're my boy, James. All right, I'm going to boot this to Blanche. Let's see what Blanche is doing. If you don't know who Blanche is one of the Golden Girls. And I like to name my operating systems off of the Golden Girls. So this is a Windows 10 install. Why do we have a dim screen again? It's weird. What's the SSD? There we go. I was just thinking about it. 7 months, JFix. Oh. Someone remember the old 286 from Intel? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Blanche and Picard crossover. Do they really? Oh, let us repair for 6 months. It's a competition. I'm a month slow. You guys are so supportive. Thank you. I saved another laptop. Oh, the old Windows 10 circle. I love it. You love that Windows 10 circle? We miss it, don't we? The old 8080, 8 megahertz. Santa Claus for 3 months. You the best tech. No other owners of Dell parts people are as good as you. Go Nate. Thank you so much. Inaccessible boot device. No! It's the boot device of NXS. Picard's Blaine's crossover? Oh boy. Who's your favorite Golden Girl? Yeah, blue screen of death, it's pointing to an inaccessible boot device, which is a, let me get it out of engineering mode, which means that the SATA controller is set to RAID, and it needs to be NVMe. That's all. No big deal. Nothing to see here. Nothing to cry home about. Okay. The boot device. I miss those days. All right, so who was her favorite Golden Girl? Betty? Betty White? The old Betty White? What was her? That was, what was her name in that show? Betty was a legend. I need to get out of engineering mode. There we go. The older lady. Sophia. Rose. Betty was Rose. There you go. 286, 1024 of RAM, and 25 megabyte hard drive. 25 megabyte hard drive is 21 megabyte. That's huge. That's huge. I would say it's that big. What about the 6502? Now, programming 6502, that was the way to go, right? Because 6502 is even what like a Nintendo used, right? Real. Please put together Crazy Nate's Christmas special of nothing but crazy moments. That would actually be pretty funny, actually. I don't know how many people will watch it, but yeah, I could see if I can get like my editor guy to do some editing and just kind of put together just all the crazy outtakes or intakes, side takes, whatever takes there are. The Crazy Nates. I had a Commodore 64 with 5 megabyte hard drive. Step away from the curtain. Atari 64 was my first. XT came with a 10 meg hard drive. 10 is so big for back in the day like that. That's crazy. Getting ready, 101%. I remember being excited to upgrade to a 1 gigabyte. I remember getting whenever the 6.4 Bigfoots came out. That took a 5 1/4 drive, but it was a 6.4 gigabyte, and you can get them for so cheap. I was like, yeah, that was a good deal. Crazy Nate's Raw Dog and Repair. I'm telling you, I should just rename my channel that. But then I wouldn't really market for my company that much, I don't think, because they'd be like, who's this Crazy Nate guy? I think I would need a separate channel that's only my Crazy Nate stuff. C64 was great. Remember, I still have that, what is that? The VIC-20. I have that VIC-20 under my desk over here that we did a stream on a while back. TRS-80 was with 4K. Can you get an HDMI mod with a 4K output? That would be funny. 20 megabyte hard drive is the first hard drive on your 486 Tandy laptop. Attempt to oust Intel, but didn't work. Assembly nuts. The Trash 80, the old trashy. Look at Blanche, you see her? Look at her. Oh, Blanchy. Woo, Blanche. Look at her. She's being all spicy. What a spicy girl. Let's see if we have all of our drivers installed. I doubt we do, because this is Windows 10. I usually use this on older Alienwares and stuff, but but it boots to Windows and it's working. Yeah, we don't have any drivers installed. No drivers. All right, so y'all want to move, like, it's kind of late, actually. I may dodge out early, but we can do two different things here. We can just hang out for the last 10 or 15 minutes. Do you want me to put his old chips back on for science to see if it works, or do you want me to just hang out? That would be a poll, I think, because whenever y'all people just start chatting, saying stuff in there. So old chips, put the old chips back on, yes or no? For science, of course. You got to fill that part in. Because I'm interested to know, like, if any of these mess the thing up, you know, or is causing an issue. So we got no, no, no. Okay, so people just want to hang. So we got a couple yeses. Yippity yippities. We got some yippity yappers. Do it, yip, yip. Reflash the old BIOS. So I'm not going to flash them. All I was going to do, his chips are here. So we have two chips here. My chips are on here. All I would do is just solder these on and then see if it works. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. And I can just put these other chips back on and send it back with that. But I don't really care. But that would just be for science. Hang with the boys. It looks like most people are saying no. Looks like most people just want me to hang with the boys. So I think that we got some science. Someone wants me to hot glue it on there. Science it, science it. Let's chat. Because basically right now we're going to just do a let's chat session and allow you to ask me questions and stuff. And as long as my brain can keep up, I can read the chat with you. No, no, hell no. We just went through 2 hours and 45 minutes of fixing this thing. Let it be fixed and let it go. Better than factory. Enough already. Okay. All right, let's just hang out. I think that, to me, it seems like most people don't want to do it. So I'm fine with hanging out. All right, so so this is a just chatting session here. So you can change the title down there at the bottom to just chatting, and you can ask me technical questions. You can ask me whatever you want, and we can just hang out and chat for the last 15, 20 minutes. And I will send this laptop back with those chips on there, and he can have his other chips back. But we got it to just chatting, so let's do it. I really like the autographed toothbrush. All right, nice, Brain. Sent out some autographed toothbrushes. So I had a bunch of these sent to me, and so I had autographed a bunch of them. So I have these right here that I'm sending out to people who ask for them. There you go. Arch Linux or Windows 11 24H2? Well, Linux, of course, if you could do it. Have you set up the oscilloscope? Nope, my oscilloscope's still sitting in the box back here. I opened it, looked at it for a second. I still haven't figured out where I'm going to install it, and I still need to figure out all the different settings and stuff. Should I become a mod considering that I am at computer 19 hours a day or 8 days a week? You know, Doc, you could be a mod if you want. There's a lot of stuff involved, but yeah, we can set you up with that since you are here all the time. How much sleep are you getting? Usually 5 or 6 hours. Last night I went to sleep around 11 and woke up at 6:30, so, or 11:30 maybe, so 6:30. So I don't know what that was. And a lot of times I get up at 5 something most days, so I don't get much sleep. The toothbrush trademark. Yeah, I have to have a toothbrush trademark. Oh my gosh. Let me see if I can get a chat window better so I can keep up with all this stuff. Microslop. How's life? Life is a lot of stuff here. How old are you? I am 45 years old, born in 1980, and so I'm kind of right in the middle of my life, I feel like, right? Is that generally how that works? But most of the males in my family die at 55, so I only have 10 years to live. Does Discord allow non-Dell questions? So the Discord is not my Discord, it's JFix's Discord, and it's for all computer repair, so you can just join that, and then there's all the different models in there, so Asus and HP and all that stuff. So join that, and then you can ask questions on there. Have you worked on the Precision 7670 yet? I'm trying to think if I have or not. You know, I don't know offhand. I feel like I have, but I'm not sure. And I know I worked on a 7650, I think. Do you work on 13-year-old latitudes? I don't know what the question is there. To follow a non-Twitch 2, I'm spending a lot of time. Let's see, do you suggest removing liquid metal until it becomes a problem? So it depends. Some models are worse with liquid metal than others, and if you have liquid metal in your machine, you're keeping the machine flat, it's usually not a big deal, so I wouldn't worry about it. But if you are putting it vertically in the bag, then you have to kind of think about if you are having issues or if you're going to have issues with the leaking. But the newer models, they're not putting as much on there. So, hi Nate, can you please check and answer my questions on JFix Discord for the 17R4 that stops charging at 99%? It stops charging at 99%. I would just live with it at 99%. But I'll take a look at that. I'm really bad at getting through there and answering all the questions, but I'll go back through there and check. Which scope did I get? The scope that I got was this one. And it's a 4-channel with 100 megahertz. So it's nice, it's fast, it has a lot of storage on it. It connects to the PC, and then it has the on-the-fly decoding of SPIs and stuff like that, which is pretty nice. So, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to learn how to use it. That's the problem. That's the problem. Chat's moving around on me again. Check the BIOS at age 45. What's the main change to be for system boards that's simplified? Right. What would main change, or what's the main charge maybe, would be on system boards that would simplify. Burko, can you rephrase that question for me? I'm having an issue with that. I got one of those I Probed Alien shirts yesterday. Thanks, Bruce. Awesome. That's exciting. We need eBay 3 Dell repair challenge. That'd be interesting to have 3 of them. Just say which one will work. Have you ever seen an Adamo? So we still have some Adamo parts sitting around, but yeah, I've only seen like 1 or 2 Adamos complete in my life, ever. They were very rare systems. Me and my brother are first males in my family to make it past 60. Well, congratulations there, Z-Duck. Yeah, that's my dad and my grandpa both died at 55. So, but they were both drinkers and smokers, so that changes stuff. So, you're optimistic at 76. Is there a Discord server? Yeah, just type in !point Discord and you can pull up that. Do you have a code for your ohm voltmeter that you can send for the video? So you're talking about let's see. How many 3D printers do you have? I have 3 3D printers. One's a smaller, one's a Delta, one's a medium. No, I have 4 actually, but I have another one that's a 220 by 220, and that's a Ender 5, and then I have a Gigabot, which prints 2 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot. Which voltmeter are we talking about? We're talking about this one over here. I have all of the links for the products I'm using are in the video description. I link to it. So I think I have a link to all that stuff except for this short killer. Maybe I do have the short killer in there too. I don't know. I can't remember. But I try to do my best I can. Every time someone asks, I add it down there. Did you first get into selling Dell parts or board repairs or vice versa? No, I bought my first load of Dell parts in 2002. Prior to that, I was working at a repair shop, just working on a bunch of stuff, but I got a load of Dell parts and started selling that. And then I started working on machines, like doing repairs. But repair is a very small portion of my business. So mainly selling parts. I have about 700,000 parts in my warehouse. We ship about 60,000 orders a year, and I probably shipped out 3 or 4 million parts in my career. So repair-wise, we're only at like 27,000 repairs. Still a lot, but it's over a long period of time. And board repairs, I've only started offering that in the last 3 years, I think, 4 years. Did you ever try fixing other brands? Never. I've never even worked on another brand in my whole life. But that might be a challenge. I think we're going to do that one day. I'm going to work on a machine on the live stream that I've never seen. You know, I actually have an HP laptop USB port doesn't work or the battery doesn't charge, and it's because the PD controller or something like that. It could be. I don't know. I haven't worked on those, so I'm assuming it's going to be something similar. Liquid metal is the worst thing that could ever happen to laptops. Yeah. I mean, the PS5, people love it, putting it in there, but you're not moving those things around. So I think anything that's stationary is fine. So if you use your laptop as a desktop, then I think it'll be fine. I paid 100%. Wait, where was that go? Man, I'm behind on these chats already. Hot glue for the t-shirt idea. It's too much of an inside joke on these sometimes. I could send you PC Byte scope probes. Yeah, JFix has the PC Byte kit, and you have the newer version, which I really like, because the other ones had a little bit of an issue. Oh my gosh, I'm so behind on chats already. Oh gosh, I'm like scrolling back up. Shoot, I paid 100% for the, damn it. All right, I'm gonna try to scroll down a little bit, and if I didn't answer it, then put it back in there again. USB check physical connection of the ports. Are you out of time today? To look at my PC. Oh, you're right. I was gonna look at your PC. You're right. I'm so sorry. Yes. Okay. Do you mind, Altruist? Do you want me to do it on the stream? We can do it next Wednesday. I really feel bad. I totally forgot that we were going to do yours next. Yeah, we did work on this for a long time. I'm going to dodge out a little early today because I wasn't even planning on doing this today. So are you fine with that? Just wait until Wednesday, and then we can do it on a Wednesday live stream. I don't mind doing it then. Or I can do it on a video. If you want me to do it on a video, I can do that too. Hot glue for a t-shirt idea. What kind of computer do you use for programming? So my computer in my office is going to be a 13700K with a 3060 Ti. This one's a 14700K with a 4060 Ti. And then at home, I think I'm still using like a 10700K with like a 1660 Ti. But they all have 3 monitors. So they have like a 32 or 37 inch monitor curved. I do the same setup at home, and then I have 2 19s on the side that are vertical. So it makes it one big long wraparound. Dell stuck at 99%. Charging 99% reaches. Please believe. Yeah, when a battery gets to 99%, it doesn't mean anything to me. I'm like, it's okay. It could be a bad battery. That's an old machine too. That 17R4 is an old battery, old machine. Actually, I have an HD. Oh wait, hold on. I already read that. Oh my gosh, I'm so behind on these chats already. 80% allows the cell. 80% allows the cells to wear easier, and yeah, because you only want to charge past 100%, 80% not very often. So, what does it say? 99% charge. Battery needs help in the channel. Okay. Okay, yeah, so he told me he was on the channel, so I'll go in there and I'll see if I can reply to the 99%. It's a weird one because those things are aftermarket batteries at this point. You're not using a real battery. So it's probably an aftermarket battery issue for all I know. I don't know. Darn it, every time I scroll down, it jumps way down here. You should try MacBook repair. I don't know. I have no desire to work on a MacBook. I have no idea. Dell 7320 detachable. When I plug it in, it blinks once and does nothing. I am far away, so I can't send it to you. Okay, so it blinks once and does nothing. Does that mean it blinks one orange, or does it blink one white? Because that's totally different things. And so kind of get a clarification on that, because that could do something, and then we just don't know if you have a charging issue or the battery's charged or not. Like, it could power off another. Do we use a ground bracelet, or it's not necessary? I've never worried about static or any type of grounding issue at all. My desk is metal, so me touching the desk right here will ground me out. I am on concrete. We have higher humidity here, so I'm not super concerned with static electricity, but for the most part, it's pretty resilient. We carry motherboards around all the time. We carry components around all the time. Haven't had to worry about that. So have you tried to let the battery go down to 50% and then charge it back up again? That is a good idea for that 99% person. I would let it discharge all the way and then charge it back up and see if it did it. Did you ever figure out why they hot glued it? No, because when I talked to the owner, he was a repair shop. He bought it on eBay used, and so he has no idea. But what I did when I called him, I said, hey, I fixed your laptop, but I'm not going to tell you what I did. I'm going to say, watch the video. And so he watched the whole stream, the entire stream. He was just like completely flabbergasted, but he thought it was pretty funny. I have a dead Asus Lamborghini that we can play with on a live stream. That would be fun, yeah, because I know that Salem Techsperts, he has some of those Ferrari and Lamborghini laptops that he's messed with in the past. That might be kind of cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't mind playing around with that. Did I mention chat's ticket earlier? What? Wait, what? What are you saying here? I don't know. I'm still waiting till. So yeah, okay. So we're gonna work on Alteryx's laptop next Wednesday. It's the 17R3 that the VRAM's not working, or it's actually it's one of the VRAM modules that are probably bad. So we're gonna replace it, and that should fix the issue. Record it and upload it. Let's see. Missed the stream. Did the Hitchhiker's Guide? Oh, I haven't watched the Hitchhiker's Guide. I need to though. Tonight, maybe. Tonight. Little Zoe, right? Zoe Deschanel. Whew. Gosh. Okay. And that's an older, right? That's like a 2005 Zoe. Gotta say. Okay. You have 5 minutes. You gotta work fast. Oh my God, I can't. This is so many words. It's so many words. I wish somebody else was like reading these off to me. New sub here. Looking forward to seeing more videos. Well, thank you there, GoPeril. Doc, email me that requires for mod, please. Okay, we'll go over all that stuff, and I'll talk to you about what it takes, what we have to do here. We got some gifted subs. Razar! Kazaa! Thank you so much. You sent some gifted subs in. That was very generous of you. So you guys no longer have to watch commercials. It's very nice. Wise choice. Avoid Apple. I also don't want to compete with other with Louis Rossman. No, he doesn't even work on that stuff anymore. Wait till a laptop turns on, it's fully charged. Okay, one white light, huh? That's all it is, and then that's all it does. I don't know. That's a tough one, because it may just mean that it's like has just enough power to turn on that light for a second, and you're just not getting power. It's been working all morning, just got here. Well, we did fix something, and you're going to have to go back and watch it. Yeah, so we did fix something. It took us the whole stream, and then I'm going to end it a little early, so I was just doing just chatting. But thanks for those donations there. I have an error code on my Dell. What error code? Where would you get that error code from? Error code 200032 something? I've never even seen where you would get that error code from. Where would that be? Looking forward to Wednesday's stream. Ultrasonic it. That could fix it. Who knows? One white on the detachable. That is so strange. I don't know what one white would do. Unless it just is charging up the capacitors just for a second. Power cable, power meter, 7-pin. Where do you cut the Alienware cable to attach it to the 3-wire coupler on the power meter? Let me show you that real quick. Here, y'all stop putting all those questions in there because I can't keep up. Oh my gosh, I can't do it. I can't do it. My brain's going to explode. Always love your videos. We'll tune in Wednesday. Hey, thank you so much there, Scar. All right, let me show you this real quick. Let me show you this. So here, I have a power meter opened up here. And so cut the 3 wires. This one actually has 5 wires in it because it's a really high-powered one. So the main one is your smaller, skinnier wire is going to be a pass-through, and so that's just going to pass straight through from the DC jack to the output. So that's connecting to nothing, and I just have this as a crimping coupler here. That's all I'm doing. And then on these other wires, you're going to take your grounds and you're going to pass that straight through to your meter. And then the last one is going to go through, well, actually both of you're going to have power and, yeah, that's what it is. The DC jack connects straight to here on your positive and negative, and then your output's going to go positive and negative straight out. Now, if you're doing it through the spike power meter attachment, which I haven't put plans out for, it's a little more complicated. But this has the new USB mod on it, but it's not done yet. So hopefully that clarifies a little something. I don't know. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. For all I know. Oh my gosh, so many words. So many words. You guys are so good at typing. And I'm so bad at reading. It's so hard. Oh my gosh. Okay, I've discharged my battery while watching the video of the movie. Like a movie or something like using a VLC. Try again. Okay. What do you keep your IPS or IPA in? This one? This is my IPA connector, or IPA. This is what I keep my isopropyl alcohol in. I've had this container for 20 years. 20 years. I've had the same one. Never had an issue with it. Another chair fund. Thank you there, Ian. Have fun watching. Live donated $1 each time to get you a new chair and save his back. And save my back! Thank you. Hit the like button. I appreciate that. I'm almost to my chair. Almost got my chair coming in. Almost there. Almost there. I haven't ordered it though. But Louis Fluxman. Louis Fluxman. Oh my gosh. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is a great movie and great books. All right, IPA. You replace the liquid metal. Why don't you use the same stuff on all computers? Why don't you use the same stuff on all computers? Because some of them don't need it. That's the thing. Plus, the PTM 7950 is expensive. It's very expensive. Can I get an autographed toothbrush, Nathan? Yeah, so I don't have a mechanism to send you an autographed toothbrush by just ordering on our site or something. But if you buy something on our website and put a note saying, I wouldn't mind having an autographed toothbrush, then I send it. And I send a screwdriver and some stickers too. So that's kind of what we've been doing, and so my shipping department has all that. So a lot of times people are just buying some like PTM 7950, or they're buying something else, you know, or something for their laptop, new battery or something, you know. But yeah, so I put thermal paste on the machines that take thermal paste, and I put PTM 7950 on the machines that take liquid metal because it costs so much. EC is probably sensing a short. It probably was sensing a short. Can you solder RAM? Can solder RAM cause conflicts with DDR5 because of higher speeds? I wonder, that's interesting, yeah. Huh, that's an interesting thought. I don't know for sure, but that seems like that math's a little bit if you have two different mix and matches, but I'm sure that they're making the data lines be the same length and all that stuff. Sounds like a Windows error code. Yeah. Oh, so if you're getting that on your error as an error code, oh, well, that's just a software issue. Then I don't know. So the error code I was talking about earlier. Did you finish your green juice? I did finish my green juice. You can see I'm talking a little bit faster, but then I still am a little bit out of it. Oh, Johnny and Mnemonic. You remember he got a 40 gig hard drive in his head? 40 gig, that was huge. That was like unheard of size. And then now, it's nothing. Get a secret lab chair. I want a stealth chair. What are the cost of Dell batteries these days? So most Dell batteries are going to be around $100 to $150, depending upon if it's the large watt hour, like a 96 watt hour or 87 watt hour or whatever it is. 90 watt hours are usually around 150, and then the 56 watt hours are around 100, somewhere around there. But if you just go to our website and type in your service tag, it will pull up all the parts, and it will give you the prices. All the parts are in stock, or any part in stock tells you, and then you can ship it the same day. Ships same day sometimes. No, it ships same day every time. So, since there are no new batteries for my X17R2, are used ones good? Yeah, so the used ones, so if you see an open box or used ones on our site, those are super good. So what they are is we buy a bunch of batteries from Dell, new, and then if somebody buys it and then returns it, it becomes open box. And so a lot of times it has one cycle on it or two cycles on it, and so we always check it. So it's not like it's used, like we took it out of a used computer. It's always where someone returned it, and then we basically have to lose a bunch of money on it because we can't sell it as new anymore. That's why I hate when people buy stuff and return it, but you have to offer returns, right? So, but yeah, so it's always going to have just, usually less than 10 charge cycles is kind of what we say for an open box, and so they still have a year warranty. Those are great. Dala, okay, thank you. So, and we're going to work on your laptop on Wednesday, all right, Alterist? So, am I saying that name right? Hopefully, Alterist. I feel like I'm saying it right. Okay, I'm going to dodge out. It's 12:15. 50% restocking fee. That will save that. I have a 15% restocking fee or $15, whatever is less. So if it's over $100, then it maxes out at $15. But it still never covers anything, right? So like if it's a $150 battery, I paid for free shipping. So I paid $12 in shipping. And then I also have to sell it now for $100 or $89 or whatever it is for a open box version. Then I lose about $50 plus the shipping plus, but it's the cost of doing business is how it works, right? So you're out of stock on my friend's 5566 batteries. And if we're buying batteries all the time, they're coming and going, so we could look up and see the last time it had it in stock, but all this stuff kind of comes and goes. Later, Dennis, thanks for coming by. Okay, I'm calling it, but I appreciate all you guys coming out. Hey, we ended up having a pretty good turnout today. I think we maxed out probably 1,100 people on YouTube, about 200 people on Twitch. So for a day that I canceled, I said I wasn't going to be here, we had a lot of people show up, so that's good. And we were able to save one laptop, right? This motherboard we spent a lot of time on. Now, whether we could have fixed it faster by going straight to this other route, we have to kind of like cover all our bases, but I think that we went the right route. We also did a lot of science in there, so when we're doing science, we're learning, right? So but hey, thanks for everyone coming out. Thanks for all those donations and our new board members and the new donor board members and all that stuff. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And thanks for watching. I saved another laptop.